Back everyone, welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Kung Fu Cup, the KFC week number 13, your weekly dose of Kung Fu Cup action. I'm of course just VIP. With me I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all. I do apologize for going live a little bit late here. We were ready, and unfortunately the first series did begin without us, so bit of a feels bad, man. We were here, we're ready, they just started without us. Smooch. So we were just staying here waiting for the match for the game to end, but it looks like ByuN is leading the series 1-0 as we get ready for our first series of the broadcast. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, as we are jumping in mid-series into our ZVP. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Rorschach, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing on side. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself. We have the Chinese Zerg representing Team Super Kitty. It is Silky. I'll fix up his name. There we go. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Once again, do apologize as we are jumping in mid-series, but it happens, papi. It happens. Smooch, papi, smooch. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be jumping in. We're going to be jumping into our matchup here. I believe when it came to game number 1, it was on Blackrock. We did see Silky go for a big 3-base all-in, and ByuN was able to completely shut it down. We'll see what kind of aggression we see this time. Silky is known for aggression. He's known for all-ins. He's known for being a very, very, very cheeky player. Those are the expectations we have from Silky, and especially on Rorschach with such a small map with a short rush distance by ground, we do expect to see more aggression and all-in play out of Silky as well. It's going to be up to ByuN to defend, survive, and to be able to weather the storm. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can. Vámonos, vámonos. Beautiful. Situation maybe wish I was still on Discord so I could ping you there. What do you mean? What do you mean ping? Like I was in game. It's with the players. But for now, we are going to be settling into our game. Here we do have our initial hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of Silky. So far, so good. Likewise, across the map, we do have a standard opener as well. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Once again, as we mentioned, we're mainly going to be looking to see the initial tech of choice from Silky to see if he does go Lair first, Roach Warren first, or Eva Chamber first. That will let us know what kind of aggression our Zerg player is actually delving into. That's cool. Let us go. ByuN does open up. From here, we get into a take of choice. We're imagining a Stargate opener, Stargate play into Twilight Council into a third base. ByuN, when it comes to his play so far on the new patch, we haven't really been seeing too much difference from him. I should also emphasize it's the second tournament on the latest hotfix and latest version of the game. Bearing in mind we were live this morning with Picasso Cup, which was the first tournament with the new patch. This is the second tournament. And we've already been seeing some very nice changes when it comes to especially ZVT. We'll get into it down the line. I don't really know if there's going to be too much to delve into here, just because of how aggressive Silky is known to be. We'll see if he does embrace more kind of macro-based play. For now, does look to expand, claim his third. ByuN is here to delay, to disrupt, and to disrupt said third base timing. Here to patrol. Oh. And it's here to be an annoyance. Probe is going to be zoned away. Silky can now expand. And unfortunately, ByuN, he wasn't able to delay long enough to allow for the Adept to arrive. Ideally, you can delay just by a little bit more time. Adept shows up, kills the drone, then you can delay even further and just snowball from there. Oh, hello. It is going to be Void Ray first out of ByuN. Okay, now with the initial Void Ray, the goal here is to hunt down Overlords, deny vision, deny scouting. This can lead into hidden tech. It can lead into a second Stargate, into like a mothership, into Fleet Beacon, into a Mothership Rush, into Mass Void Ray, into Sky Tools. It can lead into a class Twilight Council and Glaive Adepts. There are a lot of possibilities here, but this could also lead into standard play as well. Regardless, Silky will have a much harder time scouting. Much, much harder. Este Salens, ¿verdad? Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. As the Overlord is hunted down. And eyes on that follow-up tech. Zaun expanding away from Silky. I'm a little bit surprised that Silky's expanding away from Zaun as well. Usually we'd expect the Zerg player to expand towards the Protoss, especially if we plan on being more aggressive. So interesting choice here from Silky. Interesting choice. Silky does go lair first. Okay, we have the answer to our question. Not Roach Warren, not Eva Chamber, going for the faster lair. This can lead into still Roach heavy play. Speaking of, there's that Roach Warren. This can likewise lead into Roaches followed by Muta play. On a smaller map like this, I feel like it's quite difficult to get away with Mutas just because you have more time, or sorry, you have less time to kind of defend back at home and to prepare against a counterattack. Rorschach can punish you that much harder, for sure. As it is going to be a standard Twilight Council timing, but I don't see a Forge. Yeah, no Forge within sight here for Zaun. Lack of Forge tells me this may be more committed here. Stasis Trap into the main base, very nice connection, catching on half the mineral line. But again, we are now seeing a gateway explosion, still no Forge, and we'll see if we build up into 6, soon to be 8 gateways. Ooh. As Depse busts into the mineral line, they're going to be getting 1, 2, 3, up to 8 drone kills already. Stasis Trap about to run out. Yeah, it does run out. Still mining is being denied. Void Rays, they do hit the right hand side. They hit the top side here, going for the Queen. The Queen will fall as well. Ay, losing a Queen, losing 9 workers, and we're still not quite done here. The Void Ray going for the a little bit ambitious, going for the hatchery. Hatchery should survive, but still damage has been done, and Silky is struggling. And we spoke about this, Roaches into Spire Tech. This is a lot more common based on the Roach base opener, but it is going to be difficult to get away with. So far, I believe it is unscouted. It has not been seen. But remember, Zaun is going for a 3-base all-in. Do you see what I see? I see 5 gates in production. I see 2 already done. We're getting up to 7 gateways so far, and we're imagining an 8th gateway with a proxy pylon into a 3-base all-in. So it looks like an 8K 3-base all-in, and there is that proxy pylon. Now, this does hit harder on the new patch. Why does it hit harder? Because you no longer have to proxy the gateway, right? Now you just need a pylon for fast warpins. Earlier you need a gateway as well. Now this hit does hit faster, as you don't have to wait for the gateway. It also means it's harder to scout, as it takes less surface area as well. So a very strong all-in coming out from Zaun. Spire will not help. Will not help whatsoever. This will hurt more than help Silky. Lings a poke in. Pylon is now done. Now can warp in as 7, so it's soon to be 8 stalkers at a time. Oof, yep, there's that 8th gateway in production. So 3-base 8 gate all in, Stalkers they poke in, they pick up the workers, and we have 7 meters on the way. They will not help. We need Roaches to defend, and we have the Roach Warren, but no Roach production. No Roach production. Queen is going to go down, Drone's going to go down as well, and Zaun just snowballs out of control. There's nothing, there's just nothing here. There's nothing to defend. There's 1 Roach, there's a handful of Lings. Ay. And Silky, he has nothing left. Going to try to engage with what little he has. Pokes him with the mutas. We have more weapons coming in. Hands down, he will break down every Ling, every muta. Again, it was a cheeky build here by Silky, but he had a shaky early game, building up his economy into the mid game as well, and in a way was almost hard countered by the all-in. Blindly so, as Zaun didn't even know, but GG gets called, and Zaun takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Sorry, Zaun will take the series. True, as we missed out on game 1. But GG well played. Zaun will claim the series 2-0. Will advance on to the quarterfinals. My condolences to Silky. Once again, Silky had a shaky early to mid game, losing 9 workers and getting a stasis trap in the main base as well, slowing him down. His plan was to go Roach Muta, but again, Zaun from the beginning was going and setting up for a 3-base 8-gate all-in. That's why there was no Forge. That's why we saw the gateway explosion, of course. It all led into that setup. And again, this does hit harder on the new patch due to the lack of needing a proxy gateway. Now, purely with a pylon, you can pull it off. GG well played with that. Congratulations here to Zaun. And let's catch up on the bracket itself. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. Let us go. let us go as we can head on over here. And from the top, we have Clem. Clem, he takes down his opponent in the first round to advance on to the quarterfinals. Gold versus Cristiano facing off in a PvP when it goes up against Clem in the next round. Scrolling down a little bit further here, we have SHIN. SHIN versus ByuN. That is going to be our next series. ByuN just took down Silky 2-0. SHIN took down Homono 2-0. And we have SHIN versus ByuN coming up next on the channel. That's going to be our next series. That's going to be our next matchup. I do need a moment here as we do have two teammates facing off. True. They are now teammates. Quarterfinals. Beautiful. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have ByuN. ByuN takes down Ear 2-0. Percival takes down Nightmare 2-0. We have ByuN versus Percival in the quarterfinals in a TVT. Then we have Cure versus Ordinary. If you remember, that is Chance. And then we have Ryung versus Cyan. That is Lancer. Cyan took down Jumi 2-1. So we do have potential TVTs abound here. ByuN, Percival, Cure, and Ryung are all favored down here. Best of luck to Cyan and Ordinary to cause some upsets. But it's looking like TVT into TVT into TVT into finals. So who has the best Terran versus Terran amongst all these players? I lean towards, Ryung has the best TVT in the world. True. Cure is up there as well. I would say it's between the two of them to advance on. I know Percival's been looking very impressive. Recently, Percival has been looking very dominant over ByuN and Cure as well in TVT. So best of luck. Best of luck to all the Terran players, as the best Terran amongst them will advance on to the finals. Because it's purely mirror matchups down here, or it's predicted to be purely mirror matchups down here, we're focusing on the upper portion of the bracket, just for a little bit of diversity when it comes to ZVP and potentially versus Terran in the semis, as Clem, of course, is favored to face off against the winner of ByuN versus SHIN. Best of luck to Gold and Cristiano, though. I know that Cristiano has been looking very good as of late. He's been popping off and taking some names, so best of luck. Best of luck to Cristiano. Go. So Vitas are underway, and we will soon be getting into our match and getting to our series. We will get there. We will get there. The one Terran to rule them all. Exactly. Tell you, it's gonna be Ryung drop happy. Hope you. As for now, we are going to be going on a short break, I suppose. Going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have our next matchup. We'll be back soon with ByuN versus SHIN. Meanwhile, when it comes to KungFu Cup, I believe they do hold the semis, and I think they cast them one at a time, if I recall correctly. It's been like a couple of months since we've casted KungFu Cup. I say a couple of months. I think this is the first time we're casting KungFu Cup this year live. We used to do it on a regular basis. But I believe it is semis one at a time. Just double checking. I think they do it on a case-by-case basis. We'll figure it out. But now they're going to be going on a short break. We'll see you guys soon after the break. We'll see you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals here of the KungFu Cup, week number 13 of 2026. We are here. We are back with this time a fresh series, and we are jumping into game one, spawning in the right-hand corner of Sanctuary 3. We have the red Protoss player representing onside. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing onside as well as their teammates. It is SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as I quickly open up my Google Translate, and we'll see what's being said. Oh, okay. Esther down. So Zhani's saying I'm undefeated on the ladder, except he lost one match to Nanyu. Nanyu, for those who don't know, is a Chinese Zerg player. Today. Okay. He's in form. He's bragging. He's bragging about being in form. Then Shin's like, what should I do? I should play Hydra. Zhang saying, I'm gonna rush Mothership. They're discussing their builds. Yeah, Zhang, he's saying, I'm gonna rush Mothership. And Shin's like, even if it's nerfed? Are you sure? And Zhang's like, I'll try anyway. Okay. For those who are curious, the Mothership has been nerfed in today's patch. For those who are unaware, there was a hotfix that came out earlier this morning. And the Mothership does have reduced shields and is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. I think it was specifically, like in general, the HP pool has been reduced for the Mothership. So it's going to be a little bit more vulnerable just because we've been seeing a lot of Mothership rushes in ZVP in the meta. We've been seeing a lot of Mothership rushes. So we'll see. We'll see if Zhao's words bear any fruit, whether he's actually telling the truth or if he goes into something a little bit different. As we are loading a Sanctuary 3. Again, standard opener so far, building up into our own natural. Likewise, Shin back at home going hatch, gas, pool. Standard opener out of Shin as well. Everything's looking normal so far. Welcome to Sanctuary 3. We have a ramp coming into the natural. Said ramp will allow for a very, very defendable 2-base setup. We're really expecting aggression in the mid-game more than anything. And we'll see how Shin will approach this. Again, Zhao letting us know that he's been on fire today, except for losing against Nanyu. So again, we'll see how Zhao does perform against Shin as he does open up Stargate. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. So basically it went from like a 700 total pool into like a 600 total pool. So yes, has been nerfed. Whether that's enough or not, like, we'll see. I'm still probably in the pool of people that believe that, like, just making it abductable would have been enough. But they're playing around a little bit with when it comes to its overall, like, health statistics. Health stats. We'll see if that's enough to dissuade players from rushing Mothership. We'll see. For now, Void Ray opener out of ByuN. Does open Void Ray, hunting down Overlords, and last game this led into a 3-base all-in. Not saying it will this time, but what I will say is that regardless, it is easier to hide your build and hide your tech and keep it hidden from the Zerg player. So we'll see if ByuN goes into the same 3-base all-in, or if he goes into, say, a Fleet Beacon, into a Mothership Rush, into a fast Twilight Council and Glaives, or into a second Stargate. We shall see. We shall see. As the goal right now is to hunt down the Overlords. Back at home, we're going to be just joining, saturating, building it up. And Zhao will take the Logan expand. Interesting here. I guess technically it does expand away from his opponent, but there's a much more open expansion is what I will say. Early Twilight Council out of Zhao. Based on the Twilight Council timing, we're thinking Glaives or Blink, one or the other. We'll keep an eye on the Forge timing to see if we do intend to invest into upgrades, which will be another sign of things to come. Meanwhile, early Eva Chamber out of Shin. This screens +1 melee into Ling Heavy Style, into Ling Hydra. Early Eva Chamber typically means we're skipping roaches. So if Zhao were to go into Glaives, we'll have the advantage in doing so. Overlord is hunted down. Scout is denied. I don't see a Forge. Show us what you got. Is a Blinker of Glaives. Safety Baneliness here out of Shin. Does play it safe, and it is going to be early Blink. Now, if you recall, against Silky, we were just alluding to this, Zan did go for a 3-base, 8-gate Blink all-in. We'll see if he does delve into that here as well, as we still don't see a Forge, there's still no +1, and we are seeing extra gateways. Looks like we are committing into said all-in. That's the direction we're going down. We'll see if we go for extra gateways here behind this. Voidary picks in. So far, 2 drones have gone down. I believe the Oracle is still alive. Oh, dragging the Voider within range of the Spore. We'll zone away to have a decent chunk of Lings that are amassing. Again, Shin is building up. More gateways. How many gates do we have? So far, I believe 6. Oh, getting up to... Yep, 6. 6 gateways, which means soon we're going to get a 7th and then an 8th gateway, and the goal is to get a proxy pylon across the map to reinforce and to commit into the 3-base all-in. So we have confirmation. Now, the reason why this build has been so prevalent and prominent over the past week of play is because of the buff to the warp-in. Because of the speed warp-ins now available, it does mean that this does hit harder, it does hit faster. You no longer have to wait for the gateway to finish. Now you can just get a pylon instead. Oh, never mind. That is a Forge. Very late Forge, by the way, but we're not going up to 8 gates. We're staying on 6, I believe. Yes. Okay, so 6-gate Glaives. Sorry, 6-gate Blink. I keep saying Glaives. 6-gate Blink into the Forge. A couple of drones are going to be getting picked up, but we are transitioning. Gas is being taken. Now we can start to take up into, I was going to say Storm. Mothership Rush. Okay. So Zan wasn't lying earlier when he said it was going to be rushing Mothership. Once again, we did mention that Mothership Rushes has been very common in the meta. Very, very common, and we're still seeing it here. We'll see if it's anywhere near as strong as it once was, now that it has been nerfed. We'll see. Of course, the utility of the Mothership isn't in the HP, it's in the spells that it provides, of course. The Cloak, the Slow Zone, extra DPS to support against Lings. And might have reduced health, but the reality is it's still very microable to pull back the army. Back behind the army, even. Let's go. So again, this is a very common style that we've been seeing quite a lot of. Almost to the point where I want to say this is where the meta is landing and finding itself. I don't want to say that yet, but like we're getting to that point. Stalkers, a pull back. Voidary on top of the 3rd. Sorry, top of the would-be 5th base. There's that Mothership on the way, as we did mention. And we've seen many a Ling Hydra timing it, try to hit and fail against said Mothership rushes. We'll see how Shin will adjust his approach. So far, he's still trying to drone up, still saturating. Droning up to 86. Now he can focus on his Ling and Bane Hydra. Zan is going to be in him to just build up, to defend, until he builds up into his main army. I was going to say Sky Toss, but that's not really, like, accurate. It's into his main force. Mothership plus a gateway composition. Here comes that Mothership. Get shields back more easily? No. Remember, it has reduced shields from before, so now it is more susceptible to hull damage, which is permanent damage to Protoss. Of course, that was intentional to make it weaker, to hopefully make it weaker. As Shin does move in, does attempt to surround. Ooh, nice Storm! Yeah, Storm's zoned away the Lings. Lings are zoned away. Shin is now aware of the composition. He's aware of the Mothership, rotating around, trying to find a way in. Shin is almost maxed, and it all comes down to the Storms. The Storms, the positioning, the Slow Zone, and the Cloak. That's how Zan pieces it all together. Shin for now pulling back. Again, just building up, maxing out, massing up his Banelings. I guess a nice catcher from Zan. Yeah, deny some of the Banelings, catching out a Hydra. Still fortifying ourselves, stasis traps, more cannons, more shield batteries, and again, we'll see if Zan can survive the onslaught that's coming his way. Let's go. Yeah, the army rotates. Down is keeping up. At the same time, bailing around on the right-hand side. Storm does land. Ooh, station trap as well. Down defends. Yes, and he holds on. There's a cloak. Storm on the Hydras. Lings do get into the mineral line. Workers are pulled away. Yeah, the workers are pulled away. The High Templar are exposed. They pull back. Yeah, Templar, they barely pull back here. Cloak does save them. High Templar, they survive, but do we have enough storms? Yeah, we still need more. And they land. The storms are landing. Zan is holding, but he will lose the expansion. Nexus goes down. Does save the mineral line. Yeah, save the mineral line. And he even is able to counterattack. Okay. May not get the expansion exactly, but does hold, does survive. I don't think Zan has enough pushing power to move out across the map, as he is still lacking High Templar and Storm. Ooh, Hatchery does fall. Okay. And SHIN is getting ready for the second wave. On the one hand, Zan did survive. That is true. He was able to hold in the end, but he did lose a lot of stack defense here. The Nexus, the cannons, the shield batteries. It does mean that the next assault should be hitting harder than previously. Should be. Oh, never mind. SHIN is droning. SHIN is droning. SHIN is taking. We're working towards Hive Tech. SHIN, he might actually not go for a second wave. In his mind, he's thinking about Hive, Vipers, potentially Lurker Tech, into Ultras. He's thinking further ahead. We'll see. We shall see. SHIN rotates over towards the third base. Zan is gonna try to respond. SHIN can get into the mineral line. There's a first storm. Oof. Yeah, brutal storm on the Hydras. Bailey, they once again try to roll in. They do not connect with a High Templar. Yeah, Templar do survive. One Templar goes down. Oh, good. Bit of miscontrol towards the end, and he's being broken. Yeah, he's being broken, losing every single High Templar. We saw 3 Templar go down in the blink of an eye, and with that, SHIN, he will break the expansion, just barely not enough storms, and with that, the base will crumble. As we had assumed, like, the change to the mothership, like, that doesn't impact, like, these interactions here, just because, like, the mothership is never at the forefront of the army. But in the end, SHIN, he still breaks the expansion, finally does take down the mothership, and with that, Zan cannot keep up. Cannot keep up. May have only lost 1 game on the ladder so far against Nanyu, but now we'll lose a game against SHIN. That's again, Zan. It was close, it was clutch, but again, there was that moment where he did lose all 3 High Templar, where storms were denied. And at this point, the defenses have been broken. At this point, they have been broken. SHIN, he's going to be massing up his third wave now. His third wave of assaults. Getting a Hive behind this, so still taking up somewhat. And again, as we tried to mention previously, the defenses are becoming weaker and weaker over time. So it's becoming more and more easy to break these entrenched positions. Might see some different plays come out of it. No, I would probably say not. Like, yeah, I think it's a change that I think they intended for it to impact this stage of the game, but I think really more than anything it will most likely impact later games. So what I mean by that is think of like late game Skytoss Death Balls versus Corruptor Viper Infestor. I think in that kind of situation, the mothership is going to be more susceptible to being sniped by the corruptors, just because it is weaker. So in that situation, yes, but in situations like this is not the. I think the intended effect is going to achieve that, just because I feel like the mothership is typically safer anyway, as we saw. Like it's typically not the thing taking the most damage anyway, from like a Lingbane Hydra composition. So because that, I think mothership rushes are still going to be viable. I think it mainly impacts like the late game situation instead, which I don't think was the intention of the change. Maybe it was, but Go zone. Lingbane rolling in towards the top side. Once again, we'll trade well, breaking through the Zealots, breaking through the attack defense as well. Doesn't quite get into the mineral line. Gets one probe. And one of the reasons why SHIN is having a harder time trying to rebuild, remax, and knock down these bases is because SHIN is spending so much money teching. Spire is on the way, Ultra Caverns on the way, 5 Infestors on the way as well. SHIN, he's spending all his money teching and transitioning, which is why that's getting into his potential remax to break the army, which is giving Zaun time to recover. Zaun has been given time here to build back up, this time with some Tempest, so this time building a more High Templar as well. Zaun is still at a deficit, bear that in mind, because SHIN is building up a more refined composition, but SHIN is still getting there. For example, we have 5 Ultras on the way, but Kindness Planning isn't ready yet, so the army isn't quite there. There's actually a window in time here where Zaun could actually fight through, could actually break through, and try to cripple a weakened army here for SHIN. Oh, ooh, very nice snipes though. 2 High Templar go down. SHIN, calm down, Bap. Yeah. Calm down. That will delay, that will deter. Zaun moving in. We have 7 Ultras on the way. And again, Zaun, it looks like he will break this expansion. He'll take down the hatchery. And SHIN has to wait for his Ultras. Let's wait for his Ultras. They're now amassing. Ideally, he waits for Kindness Plating, but I don't think he has that luxury. I don't think he can wait that long. Yeah, SHIN gonna be collapsing in, locking down the army, forcing the recall, and despite some brutal trades here, in a fungal the Tempest, no, catching out all 3 Tempests go down, massive pickups at the same time, Zelda against the mineral lines, 14, 15 drones going down. This is not insignificant, a lot of economic damage is being done, but my big concern here is the main army, because SHIN, he's gotten there. We spoke about it earlier, but SHIN was mid-transition, and now he has transitioned into that more ultra-heavy, infestor-heavy composition. Spire is now done. Spire upgrades are on the way for Corruptors. SHIN is still is still like 1, 2, if not 3 steps ahead. That was Zaun's moment. That push. That was his moment to break a base and try to find more damage. Has also be cleaned up. SHIN, he can then push. Not sure anyone knows what they intend to. No, I think you can make educated deductions as to what the intentions were, for sure. I think for everything in the hotfix. I think it's pretty clear. Whether their intentions are correct or not, that's something else, but I think like the intentions are clear for sure. Like whether it works or whether it's enough or whether the intentions are like well founded, like that's something else entirely. From here, Zaun, he's going to be able to turtle up. We do see again, SHIN is still building up into Corruptor, switching into a second Spire, into a Greater Spire. I do believe that after the previous fight where this Nexus went down, SHIN could have just committed with Lingbane Hydra and just killed the northern third base, to be honest. Like again, it's SHIN who's been slowing himself down by tech switching like this, and it is giving Zaun the opportunity to turtle up now up to 5 bases. Getting up to 5 bases, where he now has a comparable composition. building up more Archon, Storm, and Tempest. So Zaun, he will be able to max out. Shin trading out his Hydras. I do want to get rid of these Hydras and switch them out for Corruptors. And I say that, how many Tempests are there? Only 2. I mean, I say that. No, yeah, we still want Corruptors here because of such a low Tempest count, Broodlords will reign supreme, 100%. So we still want to switch into Corrupted Broodlord, ideally. That's why we have double Spire upgrades. So SHIN is working on it. Eventually, he'll get there. We're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna be here for a while, Pappy. Yeah, diving in, catching out one of the Tempest. Does get one. Zaun now starts to break out. And I do believe that SHIN is stuck with maybe too many Ultras. How many Ultras do we have? 8. 8 Ultras. A handful of Hydralisks. Without any Lurker or Broodlord tech at the moment, like, this Grand Army is insanely robust. How many Immortals do we have? 8. We have 8 Immortals and a massive amount of Archons. This army is built to chew through Ultras, for sure. It's built for it. Zaun is moving out. SHIN going for the counterattack. Let's go with base trading. We go for the base trade. Zelda to hit the northern base. Zaun pushing out towards the south. SHIN committing in, going for the third. And does turn back around a little bit here against the Zealots. Yeah, turns back around. This base will fall. Again, this is an anti-Ultra army. But there are the Broodlords. 10 Broodlords on the way. They're coming, Bappy. That's all that SHIN needs. Just 10 Broods and enough Corruptors to make sure the Tempest aren't an issue. As the mining base goes down, Zaun is out of money. Straight up. He's broke. He's out of money. It's all or nothing. There's no economy for Zaun. Do we turn back around back home? Oh. Yeah, Zaun does turn around. SHIN pulls away. Oh, catching out a Tempest. Gets one. Nice sniper out of SHIN. And that's all we had left. Like, this is the second time now where Zaun, he was all in. He pushed across the map with all that he had. And there's no longevity here. Like, there's no future back at home. We have 0 economy. We're now trying to re-expand. If given time, this means that SHIN can now refine and perfect his composition now with Broodlord Infestor. With Broodlord, Corruptor, Infestor, Ultra. The only thing we're missing here is Viper. And now here comes the final fight. The armies, they be clashing. Here come the Huggles. Oh, Storm does land. Here we have a Storm. Nice. Oh, Microbal Shroud. Ultras, they move in. Fungal locks down the army. The Broodlords, they clean up. And from here, SHIN, he will just snowball out of control. Cleans up the final army. Takes down the Mothership, the Tempest. And GG gets called. GG gets called. SHIN, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very rough early to mid game here from Zaun. Winding it back, if you recall, Zaun, he had a very shaky start, losing his initial base. Initially, he was rushing into the Mothership and fortifying himself on 4 bases. And initially, he was defending, but the moment that he lost his 4th expansion, the moment he lost his base and his mineral lines, I mean, that was almost game then and there, right? From that moment, SHIN could do whatever he wanted. As we mentioned, SHIN could have stuck with Lingbane Hydra to commit, rally across the map and kill, but he chose to play it safe, to tech up into Ultra Tech, to tech up in towards Broodlords. At no point was SHIN in any real danger outside of, if you remember, there was that one push pre-Ultra, but Zaun didn't get across the map. And then there was, of course, a chance that maybe Zaun could force a fight out of SHIN with his Ultras into the army, but SHIN just avoided it, and as he was bleeding out units, did replace them with Broodlords to make sure that he had what he needed. So GG. GG well played. Very well kind of calculated play there from SHIN. Very well orchestrated. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2. And we'll see how ByuN will adjust here. Again, the idea of being hyper defensive and giving the Zerg player all this freedom is typically something we want to be avoiding here, but we'll see as we load into Blackrock, which should be a much more aggressive map. It's a much more difficult map to be defensive on. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Blackrock, we have the Red Protoss player, the Red Protoss player himself down in the series. We'll see if you can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself representing on side as their teammates. It is SHIN. Here we go. As we are, of course, settling into our second game here. Once again, we're expecting something more aggressive. If you remember, initially we believed that ByuN was going to be going for an 8-gate 3-base all-in, but no, he went for a 6-gate setup into a Mothership Rush instead, into something much more defensive. Now, I will say that Sanctuary 3 does favor some more defensive play, but here, welcome to Blackrock. Blackrock has a much more open third, has a much more open fourth base, much more open, much more exposed. So the idea of trying to be more defensive and to total up is ill-advised. We should be seeing something more aggressive out of ByuN instead. So eyes are on ByuN to see how we will approach this. From the side of SHIN, we're expecting more of the same. Hatch gas pool into 3-base saturation into Ling Bane Hydra does sound solid on a map like Blackrock. We go. Now we are going to be settling in. As ByuN does poke in, gets eyes on the hatchery timing, pulls away, comes back home. From here, we're expecting just a Stargate opener into a standard start, into early tech, and then we can kind of like pick and choose where we go from there. SHIN, now that he's up in the series, he might feel the ability, the freedom even to try to go for something else here, to even go roaches into mutaplay or into roach aggression as well. There are some options here for SHIN. He's even already going for a very fast third. Okay, fast third hatchery. There's a third base before the natural's even done. So incredibly fast third, actually. Because of this third base timing, this will delay the second queen for SHIN. So SHIN is going to have less queens. He's going to have a weaker early game because of the early hatchery. As you can see here, only one queen is in production. And the problem is that ByuN is not aware, I believe. Yeah, ByuN, he went back home with the probe. Usually you keep the probe around to scout. So because of that fact, ByuN, he has limited vision. He most likely won't punish this build. This is punishable, but ByuN is unaware. Back at home, Stargate opener. Opening Stargates, most likely into Oracle. Last game we did see a Void Ray first, to be fair, and based on the rally, looks like we might go for another Void Ray. As the rally is aimed for the Overlord. Ed up sound moving out. SHIN pulls out of gas. Making our way through Blackrock. True. Shadows the Tauren Marines on the high grounds. The Tauren, baby. And it is Void Ray first. Again, we could see the rally here on the Stargate, so we're going to hunt down that Overlord. I like the idea of opening the same, but having a different transition and a different follow-up. I do like that. So far, one drone goes down. ByuN pulls back, claiming his third base. We're looking for the Twilight Council timing. As ByuN is looking, for the Overlord. SHIN will keep it hidden. Uh-oh. SHIN did maneuver here to the top side to the waterfall, and so far is unscouted. Okay. Lings, they poke in, they get a full scout, they will confirm the lack of Twilight Council, lack of tech. No early timing, no early aggression. Standard build out of ByuN. And SHIN does confirm. Likewise, so far the overlord is still hidden. Oh, I say still hidden, but I believe it should finally be found. Oh, there we go. Does get found out, will be shut down. And again, there's going to be a Twilight Council as the third base is finishing. So again, a much more standard timing with the Twilight Council. This typically should coincide alongside a Forge as well. We'll keep an eye on Zown. Behind this, early Evo Chamber, +1 melee. This is screaming Ling Hydra again. Last game it was Ling Bane Hydra, so it might go for another safety Baneley Nest. But the fact that we saw no early Twilight Council should allow SHIN to cut corners. He should be feeling free to do so. There's that later Forge. Oh, and we're going charge, not blink. Okay. So we're going for an early charge timing mule. That is +1 range, not melee. Okay. You have my attention. I would imagine, especially because we're waiting for the layer to finish, that this is going to be a much more heavy Hydra style. More than usual. And this might benefit Zown, actually. So usually when you go up against Charge Lords, ideally you want Roach Ravager. Roach Ravager is very robust, very microable, and can trade well. I mean, ideally Ling Bane Roach Ravager, of course. Going into Ling Hydra compositions, that is much more vulnerable to Charge or Archon Storm. So we'll see how this plays out. Ling Hydra ideally wants to be up against Mass Stalker. Stalker based compositions. Here come the Hydra upgrades. Ling's they poke in. Getting yourself the battery. Oh, not quite able to engage. Not quite. Once again, we're going for the Mothership Rush, but in a very different way this time. If you recall, this build, or this is a style that we saw out of Hero last week. We saw it in Hero versus SHIN. Hero did defeat SHIN with this build, hitting a very crisp timing with Mass Zealot and the Mothership. The way the Hero played this out, it was not to macro into turtle, it was to get across the map as quickly as possible. To hit with everything at once, with the Mothership and with the Mass Charge Lots. And Archons. SHIN picks in. SHIN is just buying time. SHIN needs to confirm Mass Charge. No Baneley Nest yet, which is a little bit concerning. But SHIN is at least aware. They're disrupting the fourth base. Dragging the army back. Mothership's coming. And here comes SHIN. Yeah, here comes the Mass Hydra. Zown is out of position. SHIN sneaking up with the third. And we'll break through. He will break through. And middle line is going to go down. Army's out of position. Hydra they start up well, going for the Nexus actually. Yeah, does go for the base. Base goes down. Now picks off the Zealots. Oof, and GG gets called. Pre-Mothership, GG gets called. SHIN hits very hard, very strong, and SHIN, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew, and GG, well played. Again, Zown's timing was going to be with the Mothership, but the Mothership was not yet done, as Zown, he was still building up into that point. Not just that, but Zown was out of position, right? Zown was out of position. He was distracted by the Lings on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, SHIN snuck up on the third expansion, shut it down, and was able to engage with those Zealots ahead of time as the armor was trickling in. The armor was trickling in at that point. Zown caught with his pants down. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, SHIN. He will claim the series. And with that, we have, I think, our first semi-finalist. Let's have a look. Let us have a look here. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Here we go. We have Clem versus SHIN in the upper half of the bracket. Scrolling down, we have Percival. Oh, Percival, he took down ByuN. If you recall, we did mention that Percival has been beating ByuN and Cure on a much more regular basis. His TVT has been looking very intense and very insane. Meanwhile, Ryung takes down Cyan 2-1, and Ryung is waiting for the winner of Cure and Ordinary. I mentioned before that I do favor Ryung when it comes to all these TVTs, but we'll see, because Cure has some spicy TVT himself, and Percival specifically has been improving in Terran vs. Terran. As we have the update there it is. Cure takes down Ordinary 2-1. Impressive that Ordinary took a map, by the way. That's very impressive. very unexpected there. So GG well played. Regardless, we have our Pure Terrans down here leading into the grand finals. We have our next series, Clem versus SHIN. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. Percival kept getting blocked from qualifying for ourselves. I mean, Percival didn't show up for the Americas qualifier, to be fair. Well, he didn't show. But we are going to be going on a short break. We'll see you guys soon for Clem and SHIN. See you after the break. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the KungFu Cup. The KungFu Cup week number 13. We're here in the semifinals, and we are loading into our ZVT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sanctuary 3, we have the red Terran player. We have the French Terran. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself, the South Korean Zerg, representing onside. It is SHIN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. As we're here, we have made it. We are live. And coming into this series, I'm curious to see how Clem will be adjusting, especially coming into the new and latest version of the game. For those that are unaware, Terran players have been struggling immensely in TVZ. Clem especially has had a very hard time against top Zergs over the past week of play. But now with the larva change, that does mean that TVZ mid-game is much more accessible. If you missed it, I highly recommend the tournament we casted earlier this morning, the Pigstar Cup. We did cast many a ZVT featuring ByuN, Cure, and Solar, and they were bangers. Like, they were very, very good series, very good matches. This series has a lot to live up to based on Pigstar Cup earlier this morning. We'll see how SHIN and Clem do approach each other here as we delve into our matchup. I will say that due to the Widowmine change, we have seen mid-game play be more dynamic. Of course, due to the Larva change as well, Terran players have been able to keep up that much more as well, but that's only off of this morning's events. We'll see how this evening compares. We'll see. So I'm happy that you missed out on the Terran Mad Scramble. I mean, I don't know how confident he is at the moment with PvT. If you remember, Clem this morning did get, I want to say, got 3-0'd by Cure in PvT. So I'm sure he's probably excited that he avoided that portion of the bracket. Like, I don't like I don't know how confident Clem is with his Protoss versus Terran at the moment. So hard to say. Hard to say. And again, like with the latest patch, with the latest changes, like TVZ looks a lot more dynamic. Looks much more dynamic. Salte is probably happy. He's probably very, very happy. For now, though. For now, we are going to be settling in. Reaper moves out across the map. Again, standard opener here by SHIN, and we'll see how Clem will open up. We've been seeing a lot of 1-1-1 based play here so far. Even some unique 2-1-1 variations out of Cure as well this morning. And typically, if Cure is doing something, Clem is often not too far behind when it comes to their builds. So, again, I'm curious to see if that trend continues here as well. Curious. Welcome to Sanctuary 3. Sanctuary 3 is one of the more defensive maps in the map pool. It's a little bit more medium sized. We have the slow zones in the center to slow down pushes, to interrupt and to delay engagements, of course. And behind this, there it is, third CC before starport, economic build out of Clem. And you can already see, like, this kind of build, this kind of opener here, Clem avoided it entirely last week. Well, for the past 7 days, I should say. For the past 7 days, like, Clem, he like, this was not viable. No shot. It was just non-stop, like 2 base all-ins and 2 base play and proxies. So let's go. I'm ready. I'm excited. Up and now it's going to be a 3cc 2-1. So it's going to be 3cc 2-1-1. Let's go. Let us go. Second ranks is on the way before the starport. We're going to be opening up with initially 4 Hellions into Mass Marine into a stim timing early on. Behind this, though, very fast lair out of SHIN. Oh my god, that was what, a 350 lair timing. With the earlier lair here, this does give access to potentially 2 base Muta. Oh, Reaper Scouts. Yeah, big moment here. Big moment. Big scout out of Clem. Does see the incredibly fast lair. Confirms the later expand. And I feel like Clem is already on the road that he wants to be on. I mean, with the 2-1-1 variation, he's already working on Stim, Mass Marine, Mass Spire. He can support this on with Widowmines, of course. We're making the assumption that this is going to be Muta play, but we'll see. As we saw Solar struggle quite heavily this morning with Mutas. Was struggling. Oh, 2 Ace Hydra. Okay. We're bringing it back. For those who remember, 2 Ace Hydra was very trendy like 2 months ago. Like around April-ish of this year. April of this year. We did see that that this was a lot more trendy. We saw this from players like SHIN, Rogue, and Solar that were mixing it into their builds, into their games, into their matches, coming into GSL Season 1. Oh, and Clem is going for a Hellbat push. Okay, so a 3cc 2-on-1 Hellbat push out of Clem, going for continued reactor to Hellion production. So very quirky, very aggressive here by Clem, and we'll see if SHIN can defend. Now, because of SHIN's build, 2-base Hydra, what does that mean? We're skipping Banelings, right? That's what this means. It's going to be Ling and heavy Hydra tech, no Banelings to defend. So because of that, there's potential here for Clem. He does have potential. We'll see if there are enough Hydras to hold his own, or if this becomes too much. I believe Clem is reading this as 2-base Muta, and this will kill 2-base Muta, but it's not Muta, it's Hydra. Here come the Hellbats. Yeah, Hellbats they morph in. The build is revealed. SHIN pulls back, he's got 3 queens. Yeah, Hydras are slowly building up, but it's too late. Yeah, the Hydras are too late. 1, 2, 3 queens going to be going down. Massive pickup going for the Hydras as well. Lings, they cannot engage, and Clem, he's doing it. He's breaking through. He's breaking through. Every queen falls. We do have a couple of Hydras trickling in. It's close. It's still so close, as he barely doesn't have enough. Clem, he resets the queen count, but the Hydras will barely defend. Whew. And again, imagine this same game, except instead of Hydras, we had a couple of Mutas trickling out, right? Again, if this was 2-base Muta, SHIN would be dead, and Clem was hoping it was 2-base Muta. He didn't know it was 2-base Hydra. Where with the Hydras, they barely hold. Whew. Barely do hold on. With that, SHIN, he does get away with his build, does shut down the initial push, and Clem is now in a rough position, because Clem devoted everything to that timing. He lost all the Hellbats, sorry, he lost all the Hellions, map control, medevac Marines as well, which means his third base is exposed. Exposed for an expansion. SHIN, he thought about pushing. He's going to pull back, waiting for Hydra speed. Waiting for the upgrade. So waiting for the upgrade. But last SHIN, he's still not droning. He's cutting workers early at 2.5 base saturation. 53. 53 drones. SHIN is committing. It's going to be a Ling Hydra all in, but still waiting for the upgrades. The Hydra speed is almost done. Tank getting in position. Lings, they do get into the mineral line. So far, catching up 4 CVs. 4 workers going down. Marines, they do trade. A bit of friendly fire there from the tank. Forcing a bit of friendly fire. SHIN, he retained all the Hydras. True. But he needs more Zerglings. He does need more. He's within range of the CC. Ooh, real tank shots popping up. And that's still going to be 6 SCV kills. Oh, behind the SHIN drones. SHIN, now he starts droning. This droning here is late. It's delayed. So late droning, late saturation. SHIN, the momentum that he once had, not anymore. Not anymore. And now Clem takes a lead. Clem, he's up in economy. He's up in momentum. He has built up his army. And SHIN is late to drone, late to get a 4th base, and late to tech up as well. Oof. So again, SHIN punished for trying to commit. I'm sure he was hoping he could hit pre-tank, but once that tank arrived, SHIN could not touch the space. Could not move in. And you can see the pendulum swing from one player to the other, to now the other. Like, it's it's been swinging back and forth. Initially Clem with the Hellbat push, then SHIN with the counterattack, and now Clem with his own counterattack. And here it comes. He's built up to 3 tanks. He's got his mass buyer. And remember, the most important thing here is that SHIN is doing all this without any Banelings. So his army's weaker against mass bio. Does go for the counterattack. Clem is ready. Clem, he reacts in time. So does rotate. Pushing towards the Hydras. Tanks are getting within range of the hatchery. And I'm not so certain that SHIN can hold on here. We do have some fungals, true. Oh, fungal lands. Oh my god, a massive fungal. Yeah, lands 2. The chain fungals. Every marine goes down. Clem, he clumps up. Bappy clumps up, and he will take everything to the face. The army goes down. The juiciest fungals we could hope for here. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, lack of splits, lack of spread. SHIN is holding. He's holding on, Pappy. That is Clem, to be fair. Like, he's known for taking storms to the face, known for taking fungals to the face. It happens. It happens. So Clem pokes in, does catch a couple of attempted lurkers. We have 3 more lurkers on the way. It's not just yeah, exactly. See, Setsuna knows. it's a trend with Clem. It's a trend. Ah. I mean, he still might have won regardless, by the way. Like, it's as Clem is still rallying, but now we're pushing into lurkers. Yeah, 4 lurkers in position, down to 3. Ooh, once again, Fungal lands. Catching out the ByuN army. Some heavy losses here for Clem. Oh my god. As Clem is trying to push through, but again, now we have more lurkers building up. Clem behind us getting a 4th. And Clem is taking. Yeah, Clem is taking up as well. Go for Ghost. Liberation to the main base, catching in a couple of workers. Clem once again looking for an opening, doesn't find it. And SHIN has been taking out this entire time. The base count is still quite low and the creep is non-existent, that is true. But now we're building on more lurkers, more upgrades. Hive is now complete. Oh. Yeah, massive. Oh my god, the lurker shots are crazy. Insane lurker connections. Yeah, here comes a micro shroud. We do step in. Every tank falls. And again, it all came down to those fungals earlier. Those fungals, they just completely shut down the push. They stripped away any momentum that Clem had. It was all stripped away. Now it's time for SHIN to counterattack. Get the momentum. It swung back in his favor. True. Now it's Clem's turn, right? Is it? SHIN is moving in. We have 1 tank in position. It's going to be focused down. Lurkers are get within range. Here come the fungals. Ooh, lands 1. Does end 1. There's no more fungals left. And no remaining. I believe there was an EMP. Lurkers are within range of the CC. And the CC is going to be focused down. You go for the mash repair, but not good enough. Yeah, not good enough in the end. Clem trying to hold the line. Nice one. Tank within range as well. SHIN is going to be careful here. Losing another tank. Sorry, losing a lurker, I meant to say. Does lose another to the tank. Has to back up, has to rotate. Tank pulls away. Nice cancel here of these bases. Catching out 2 CCs. 1 CC even. Yeah, getting a better angle, a better position. I'm going for his counter drop. The damage is adding up. I'm trying to get within range. Is he out of a scan? Ah, he is. There was a moment there where I'm like, we could have scanned here, but because of the dead orbital earlier, we're down to only 2 orbitals. Yeah, here comes a scan. He has 1. Gets 1, 2, 3, maybe all 4 lurkers just barely. But again, scans are very limited here for Clem as he only has 2 orbitals. Demons get picked up. Free damage with the lurker. Okay, there is 1 scan available. Okay, let's go 1. Now 0. Okay, Clem barely holding on. Both armies are maxed out, but Clem is lacking the economy to sustain any kind of trades here. He's heavily oversaturated. Clem does have a high ghost count though. True. Got a lot of ghosts. Do we have any Vipers, by the way? No, still no Vipers. Yeah, still no Vipers. Tanks say siege. Clem moving in. And with all those ghosts without any blinding clouds, with relying only on infestors here, I'm not so sure that SHIN can engage. Still no bathing speed either. Let's go. The 60-minute bathing speed. Snipes annihilate. Again, Clem is pretty all in with this. He's pretty all in, but his army is terrifying. He's got so many ghosts. 15 ghosts battle. Let's pull back. Oh, infestors shocking around. Ready for that moment. Here comes the fungal. Ooh, that's one. Yeah, massive fungal. Bailey's roll in. Bailey speeds out complete. And massive connections. Oh my god. Insane connections. The ghosts, they go down. Oh my god. And do we have enough? Yeah, there's that micro shot towards the end. Barely will be enough. Getting some of the final tanks. Lunges forward. And barely one tank survives. Whew. Clem's still rallying. He's still rallying. GG gets called. Clem, he does have enough, and Clem takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense, very dynamic game here between Clem and SHIN. Very back and forth with one player getting momentum, then the other, then the other. As we mentioned, I want to echo my sentiments from this morning, actually. This game as well, very dynamic, which I appreciate. Very dynamic, very back and forth. A very intense game here. There's a lot of pressure on Clem. He was running out of scans. He was running out of bases. He was heavily oversaturated on one expansion, but he barely had enough to break through. Again, he built up his heavy ghost count, and ghosts, they popped off. They popped off when it mattered most. Sure, he took a fungal to the face. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. GG. Oh. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into our next game. Going to be loading into game número 2. Let's go. Going to be loading into BlackRock. And again, it was a very peculiar game as well, wanting it back. Remember, it all began with 2-Ace Hydra. Not even 2-Ace Muta, but 2-Ace Hydra here from SHIN. Again, we haven't seen him do this build in a couple of months. He brought it back. Clem, he was trying to hard counter 2-Ace Muta, failed to do so. That's why he got shot down. We saw the counterattack, even killing the CC. Like, it was, again, a very intense back and forth there between Clem and SHIN. And it looked a little bit dire there for Clem, just because he had no economy, he had no longevity in that game. But he built up his core army, his ghost count. He was able to push out with one massive move out across the map. And GG. GG, well played. Barely had enough. Whew. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2. And spawning in the right-hand corner of BlackRock, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing Onside. Down in the series, can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. As we are settling into our next game. As we're settling into our series. Whew, and welcome to BlackRock. Welcome to BlackRock. BlackRock is a much more aggressive map of the map pool. I will say, we said this in the previous series as well, that Sanctuary 3 does favor like a more defensive setup there, and we were able to see Clem try to build up into 4 bases. Here on BlackRock, it is much more difficult to maintain a 4-base economy, as the bases are much more spread out and they're much more open and exposed and vulnerable, as opposed to on Sanctuary 3, where we have some high ground advantage, we have some choke points, we do have some slow zones in the center as well. That is non-existent here on BlackRock. There are some choke points, and there's definitely some terrain in the center that can make things a little bit more awkward, and you can have some more dynamic engagements in the center of the map, but when it comes to defending the bases, it can be much more difficult to pull that off. Pull first. Pull first out of SHIN. Early pull, later expand. With this leads into earlier queen production, and I'm curious to see how many links are made, whether it's only 2 if we build up into 4 or even up to 6. With the initial link production, we can try to sneak out across the map and delay the CC, bearing in mind that we're going for later gases. As it is going to be 6 links, okay. 6 links on the way. This cast is live. See someone in the YouTube chat asking, is this played on the new PTR update patch? Not PTR update patch, on the new hotfix. Remember, it's on the live version of the game, so we're playing on the new hotfix. Always assume that, you know, games are being played on the latest version. Make that assumption. There we go. Oh, yo, big shout to Shuriko the second. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome to KungFu Cup. To KungFu Cup number 13. We're here in the semifinals. The semifinalists, as we did have a pool first open out to SHIN. He does think out across the map. He will delay the CC. Boys are being pulled, and Clem shouldn't lose any workers here. Shouldn't lose any SCVs. I say that. Oh, SHIN wants at least one. He wants the one worker. Oh, barely does get us. One SCV goes down. And did successfully delay the CC by a couple of seconds. Did delay. Might get another, but barely will not. Oh my god, we're going 3CC 3 racks. Okay. Now, in the past, this was a build that was reserved for TVP, going 3CC into a second and third racks. But if you've been watching StarCraft over the past week of play, this is a build that has become more trendy against Zerg players during the PTR and during the new live version of the game as well. So 3CC 3 racks here. It's a very greedy build out of Clem, very greedy. It does lead into a stronger sim timing a little bit later on, but again, does actually provide you a very fast third CC, which leads into triple SCV production and triple mules as well. So faster 2 base economy and faster 3 base economy. This kicks in the mid game. It does have a big power spike in the mid game once you get your third base fully operational. Meanwhile, SHIN is unaware. SHIN is playing blind, he's in the dark. SHIN is going for a massive link flood. Oh my god, 18 links on the way? SHIN? SHIN getting ready for a massive link flood here, and this might actually do well. Bearing in mind, because of the build that Clem is going for, there's no Hellion production. Remember, the factory is very late. It's a very, very late factory, so late Hellions. It's going to be vanilla Marines early on. And this is a big investment here by SHIN. If this fails to get damage done, then SHIN will fall behind. He wants the Marines coming in for this round. Oh, and he does. He does surround the Marines, and with that, every Marine goes down. And with that, Clem is punished. He's punished for the greed. He's punished for the build. He tried to get away with 3CC, but alas, boys are being pulled, and SCVs will go down. Heavy losses here for Clem, losing every single SCV. Ay, ay, ay. We got one Reaper to defend. One Reaper, papi. Oof. Yeah, Reaper goes down, Marines, they get pounced upon, and GG. GG gets called. With that, we're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Clem going for a hyper greedy build, which, as we mentioned, does have a big power spike in the mid game when you get your third base up and running, and SHIN just went for a big link flood. He went for a link flood. I'm curious what led SHIN to going for the link flood, because he didn't scout the main, so I don't think he saw anything. The best he could have assumed is because he saw no Hellions, he can assume either a 2-on-1, a 3CC 2-on-1, going 3CC 3 racks. I mean, it's hard to make that assumption, of course, but in the end was able to pull it off, was able to pull off link flood and just overwhelm. It's possible he just gambled, where he just assumed, okay, it's gonna be like at least a 2-on-1. I believe that I can punish you for skipping Hellions regardless, and he did more than punish. GG, well played. With that, SHIN does tie things up, and we're going all the way to the ace match. Let's go. We're going to the ace match, and we're going to be loading into Rainfall. Rainfall is much smaller map than the map pool. The link saw the CC start. That doesn't give you a tell. It was a Rax expand, if you remember. It was Rax expand Reaper first, so that does not lead, or that does not allude to the build. So I would just assume that he maybe thought it would have at least been like a 2-on-1 and just went for link flood anyway. But with that, we're now getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into game number 3, the ace match. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Rainfall, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg. We have the Blue Zerg player himself representing on side. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, third CC in the main. No, the third CC was thrown down after the links were killed, not before. But in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. There were some reports of some clown tournament runners saying they would protest and run on previous patch. I think the only tournament that did that was Maestros of the Game, but that was less so in protest. That was more so because like their rationale for it, which I think is valid, was that the entire tournament, the group stage, was played on the previous patch. So their rationale was that the offline portion should also be on the previous patch as well. As well as rainfall. We're going to be settling in. Also, MW saying check, and I just did. Yeah, so I just did. I just opened up the VOD. You can check it on YouTube. But the third CC was thrown down after the Lings were killed. So I checked. Third CC after Lings were killed. We pointed that out during the game itself. So we pointed that out during the cast, and I just confirmed. Here we go. As from here, we are going to be settling into our game. And we have our initial hatch gas pool. We have an initial opener. So far, standard play here for our 2 players. I believe Reaper first. Yep, does go for the Reaper. We'll be scouting across the map. And we'll see where Clem takes us this time. So far, okay. Playing much more standard here. Going racks in the factory. We're calming down. I don't know what you're seeing, NW. Yeah, it was the second after. Yeah, well, I know. we pointed out during the cast. From here, it is going to be a standard follow-up here, going for a third CC before starports. So economic follow-up, standard economic follow-up this time out of Clem. Going for a 3CC 2-1-1. If you remember, Clem went for this build in game 1. Leading into an earlier stim timing. In game 1, after Clem saw the 2-base lair, he responded with a Hellbat push, and you said, I see 2-base lair. Yo, we're running it back, Pappy, but oh, never mind. It is 2-base lair. There's a 350 lair timing, but we're going for a very fast hidden Roach Warren. So, curious here. If Clem sees the lair like he did previously, then he may respond the way that he did, and it's possible here that SHIN wants that to happen, because if we go up against a Hellbat push, Roaches would completely shut that down. So Clem picks in, he's deflected, he's denied. Clem has still yet to confirm what's going on, and we're expecting a much faster Roach speed and much faster Roach based all-in. But in reference to Turner in the YouTube chat, I'm aware that there were some tournament organizers that were very vocal about their disdain of the patch, but I would say that, like, for the most part, like, they've kind of walked that back for better or for worse. I'm pretty sure they've walked a lot of that back. So it is safe to make the assumption that all tournaments moving forward are going to be on the live version of the game. There we go. For now, we are getting to Roach speed. Once again, I still believe that Clem is yet to confirm. He did see the lair. He did not see the Roach run behind this, so we're massing up into +1 carabase into Roach speed. And there's going to be a timing available here for SHIN. Oh, yo, shout out to the changeling. Does confirm the drop. Yeah, you can see that Clem, he noticed a changeling and he did turn back around to kill it. Then he was like, nah, we just gotta go. Moves out, kills it with the SCV. Push is delayed. And SHIN, he's getting ready with his mass roach. So SHIN is gonna be cutting workers once again at 2.5 base saturation, 53 drones, 53 workers, mass roaches here for SHIN. Does hit the third. Does find a couple of SCVs, nothing major. Does force Clem to react. Does force a reaction. And SHIN is still not droning. Bear that in mind. Still no drones out of Shin.
Go to mutation.
I've never heard that line before. God damn it, Diva. Every time. Every time. God damn it. It's a very Gosu mutation. It's very Gosu. As I can never look at Shin's vision. I can never do it. Can never happen. But here comes the all-in. Here comes the all-in. So Shin is built up to how many? Up to 20 roaches, soon to be 26 roaches. We've got 8 ravagers as well. Shin is moving in. There's going to be 2 tanks behind the main army. True. They're further back. Nice positioning here by Clem. No bunkers. Can Shin get within range? Their boys are being pulled. Wow, they zone the army. Mining is denied. So far denying mining, and Shin, interestingly enough, does not commit. He drones behind this. Okay, so now he starts to drone, content that he most likely will be able to deny the third, and will catch up economically. As once again does force a lift. That's all he needs, just deny mining, catch up. Ideally he wants more than this, to be fair. Oh, he does commit in. We go for the sim. Breaks through some of the roaches. Balze do not connect. And Clem holds. Clem he holds. He shuts us down. Not without losing a lot of SCVs though. Soul workers falling. Biles they takes out the medevac. Oh my god, the medevacs and the Marines. He takes the Biles to the face. Oh my god. Takes the Biles to the face. That might just be too much. Ay, ay, ay. Clem just getting a little bit too aggressive there. Chasing through the Biles. Not like this, Clem. Not like this. And with that, Shin is droned up. He's droned up to 73. He's amassing on more Roach Ravager. Shin is getting further ahead. And Clem just having a very shaky follow-up here. He was defending well. He was defending nicely. It wasn't bad whatsoever. And then he bled out the army. The army just crumbled. Oof. Not like this. Not like this. Clem, you're playing with fire right now, you know that? You're calm down, Clem, calm down. Now this will lead into a later timing here. So Shin, he's running up to 73, getting a 4th base, building up into 2-2, into Ling Speed, into Ling Bane Roach Ravager. I say Ling Bane Roach Ravager, we might skip Banelings and go straight into Ultra Tech. That should be the go-to here for Shin, is Infestation Bit, into Hive, into Ultras. Now, whether or not Shin tries to kill Clem early on, or if he decides to wait for Ultras, based on the Infestation Bit, it looks like he may just wait. He may just wait for Hive Tech instead. We'll see how... the issue here is that if Shin does give Clem too much time, Clem can recover. Clem is of the caliber of player that he can bounce back from a deficit. It's not easy, but it is possible. And there's that Hive. So Shin, he's working his way towards Ultras. Again, that is the go-to. Is the meta. Shin pulls back. We have our safety infestors on the way. Bailing the nest into eventually bailing speed. And we'll see what Clem can accomplish here. As he is spotted. There is a second army. Clem, he does race back home to defend. Drop will deny the expand. Not bad. Cancel the 5th. Dropping into the main. Anti-air is limited here for Shin, so this can be abusive. But oh my god, we got turrets in position. Oh my god. We got spores in position. They punished the medevacs. Clem pushing down mid. He's moving out down mid. The infestors, they have a bit of miscontrol. Losing 2 infestors already. Massive pickups. Shin, he did miss rally. And Clem, by catching those 2 infestors, now there's only 1 fungal. He can move in. He can move in. Going for that Kerbal Shroud. Roach Ravager trying to engage. Does bow down 2 of the tanks. Not even. Oh my god, the bows are misplaced. Yeah, misplaced. 2 tanks finally go down. But Clem trades well. Clem trades very well here. He's going for the kill. Takes down the infestor. And he breaks through. He breaks through. He's overwhelming. Does barely save the tanks here. We attempted to flank. Again, for SHIN to lose 2 infestors before the fight began was brutal. Imagine a couple of fungals. Imagine extra blinding clouds or microbial shrouds. And with that, Clem has recovered. As he does focus on every single Ravager, rallies across the map, barely forced back. But in the end, the idea of just trying to wait until Hive Tech and wait until like even Ultra Tech as well, it's killing SHIN. It killed him. Tried to play it safe, didn't go for the kill, and gave Clem too much room. And with that, SHIN cannot keep up. Not like this, not anymore. GG gets called, and Clem will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, SHIN took a lead, and his plan there was to take that lead and get further ahead by droning, teching up Hive Tech, Infestors, laying Bane, and getting his 4th base up and running. But again, it allowed Clem to build up his own robust army to go for one big push across the map. He was able to end it then and there. Of course, SHIN did fumble the ball when it came to the defense. Again, to move command his Infestors forward, to lose 2 Infestors immediately. They were not in the same control group as the Roach Ravager, so there was a bit of miscontrol there, and that meant less fungals, less microbial shrouds, and that was imperative. That was crucial when it came to that defense with that Roach Ravager. GG, well played. With that, Clem Stone was out of control, and with that, we have our first finalist ready for us. We're heading on over here to the Korean server for our next semi-finals. Let's go. Let us go. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let's catch up on that bracket. Okay, so we have Clem. Clem is going to be our first finalist here. He does take down SHIN. Is this the first time that Clem has beaten a Zerg player, a top Zerg player this patch? Is that sorry? Since the patch went live last week. Let's go, bye. Let's go. The tides have turned with the hotfix. True. The tides have turned. Clem takes down SHIN, and again, Clem is waiting for the winner of Percival, Cure, and ByuN. TVTs abound. And ByuN is currently 6 minutes into his game. I don't think he's being casted by anyone. Yeah, he's not being casted. So ByuN is mid-series. We're going to be waiting for his series to finish up versus Cure, and then we'll cast the winner versus Percival into Clem. We got you. Beautiful. So we should have 2 series left, as I believe Cure and ByuN should be wrapping up momentarily. We'll have the TVT into TVP into the finals. We got you. Who's Clem? Who's Clem gone the final? A Terran. Which Terran we still don't yet know. One of three Korean Terrans. Clearly he needs to shower in Baneling's nest. Oh no. Oh no. But for now, we're going to be going on a short break. Here, as we do have to wait for ByuN's match to finish, and I feel like it's still got a ways to go here. So we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have that lower semis. Unless Cure and ByuN find themselves like in the ace match, like I don't know what game they're in. It's possible that this series might continue even further. So we'll be back with a TVT of some kind, either Cure versus ByuN or the winner versus Percival. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the KungFu Cup. The KungFu Cup week number 13 semi-finals. We just wrapped up with the upper semis, and Clem is waiting in the grand finals for the winner of the series. Who exactly, though, will face off against him? One of these two Korean Terrans. Let's find out which one. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Rainfall, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran. We have the red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran. For Team Liquid, it is Cure. Let's go. Let us go. We're settling into our TBT. And if you're in the chat, it is Gamba time. Predictions are open and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. A matchup that did occur off stream was ByuN versus Cure. Went to the ace match. And Cure did take down ByuN 2-1. We're happy to see that it went to the ace match, of course. But Cure taking down ByuN does bode well moving forward into the rest of this series. Now, Percival himself has also been looking like a beast in TBT. Remember, Percival did just take down ByuN, so ByuN has fallen to Percival, ByuN has fallen to Cure, so both players, they've already showcased their mettle in TBT, and now how do they compare to each other? We have been seeing these two go back and forth. I would still give the edge to Cure, but like a 60-40 split sort of thing, where we have seen Percival defeat Cure in recent weeks as well. Like, they have gone back and forth in our open cups, in our open tournaments, and we'll see who comes out ahead this time, as we do have a double gas opener out of Cure. Meanwhile, we do have a single gas opener out of Percival. And now with this Percival, he will be able to go for a faster economy with a faster CC on the low ground. Meanwhile, Cure will have a faster factory and faster starport setup as well. Basically, Cure is going to be the aggressor, and Percival, he will be the defender. Let's go. Let us go. Now, coming into this, I will say that when it comes to the meta of TBT, we've been seeing a lot of 2-port 2-base play. A lot of 2-port 2-base all-ins. It's been just plaguing the meta through the past week. Hyper aggressive. When it comes to the rationale as to why, I mean, once again, it did pop back into the meta this year. The reasoning for this was because of the November patch. If you remember, the November patch did actually buff the Viking. I say buff, did make the Viking cheaper, and that did mean that it was possible to go for these 2-port 2-base plays, but also expand behind it as well and get a third CC. It made it less all-in, but still just as powerful. Nowadays, I feel like we've been seeing a little bit more just to be more aggressive, just to try to be more aggressive and more in your face, and just take that momentum and run with it a little bit more and try to disrupt a player, especially as the meta is still settling and as the game is still a little bit fresh because of the patch. It's a way to take advantage of that a little bit more. But we'll see if we see it throughout the course of this series. I would imagine we will, but we'll see. For now, going to be opening up. Again, it's going to be Reaper Hellion initially here from Cure. Rallying across the map as we speak. And it's going to be rallying. Meanwhile, Percival going for the CC on the high ground. Did skip his Reapers to go Marine first instead. Zero vision out of Percival. He is zero scouting. Reapers they poke in. And they're going to be forced out. Oh, was one Reaper falls. Nice pick up by Percival. Very nice. Yeah, better the Reapers further in. Cure gets punished. And Percival, he picks up the second Reaper as well. Oh my god. 2 Reapers go down. Again, nice defense so far out of our Terran. Cure back at home going for a very fast tank into an early medevac into an early push. Okay, so hyper aggression by Cure, opening up Reaper Hellion. The Reaper Hellion so far I would say has failed in terms of aggression, but behind this we're going for the early tank push to try to maintain some momentum and to try to punish the economy and try to break his opponent. It's quite committed and has a lot of potential, of course, but it comes down to the micro, it comes down to the control of both Cure and Percival. Percival, he will have one Cyclone to defend. Cyclone is out. We'll see if he can catch the medevac. Due to the dead Reapers and Hellions, it does mean there's less support for this army. So that does work against Cure. Here comes a drop. Can we catch the drop in the center of the map? Uh-oh. Who catches who? Who reacts first? Percival. Yeah, Percival does react first. He gets 1, 2, 3 shots, 4 shots on the medevac. Very nice. And the tank drop is denied. Wow, it denies the tank drop. Nice catch here by Percival. He does keep pushing. Does boost in. Oh, gets a look on the Hellion of all things. Not ideal. Percival getting greedy. He's gonna lose the medevac. Medevac goes down. Massive pick off the Cyclone as well. And Percival, he'll lose everything. He overextends. He got too greedy. Yeah, he got too greedy in the end. And with that, he will kill 1, 2 SCVs for the cost of a Cyclone, Marines, and a medevac. That was not worth it for Percival. Oof. And he got too excited back. So excited. Behind this, trying to build up his own tanks, his own Ravens. Building up into the mid game. I believe Cure should have a tank lead, and he does. Yeah, he does have the tank advantage. Meanwhile, going into reactor Viking production as we speak. Gaining that air control. Meanwhile, Percival going for the faster third CC. So Percival, he's once again going for a more economic route. He's being greedier. He's being greedy. And Cure's here to punish. It's on Cure to punish. As he is pushing across. And we'll see if we can get within range. As I believe these tanks can get within range of the CC. Oof. Can he force a cancel? Oh no. The answer is yes, he can. Yeah, CC's going to be delayed. Disable's coming in. Disable's both. Does cast 2 tanks. Raven's going to be going down to the Vikings. And these tanks are still a little bit out of range here for Percival. He does bring them down. Nice pickups. Gets 2. 2 tanks go down. Can we force a cancel? Oh, can he force it? He can. Oh my god, that's a cancel here on the CC. Trades with the workers as well. It's a lot of SCVs going down. Losing up to 9. Losing up to almost 10. 9 SCVs go down. Getting on top of the tank, sniping another tank as well, and another. Oh my god, that tank on the low ground popping off. Jesus. Cure, he baits it within range. Another cancel on the CC. After the disables, I thought Cure was going to be cleaned up, but no, he still maintains this position. He still trades well. Cure's up in workers, and Cure has a faster command center. True. Faster command center. A little bit messy towards the end. Cure up in Vikings. Does trade well. Ooh, catching up both Vikings. He gets 2. He wants another. He wants all 3. He wants them. Did we just land on the tank? We do. Yeah, we just land on the tank. Oh my god. Free damage. Pulls back to the safety of his own. Again, achieving just so much damage with so little. Percival, he's barely holding on. Small Vikings are arriving. The Vikings are quite low in HP here for Cure. Yeah, they're quite low. And Cure pulls away. Yeah, finally does pull back. But again, the damage has been done. Now landing his own third base. Despite the openers, now suddenly he's ahead in set economy. Head in the third base location. Likewise, Firehead and Vikings. We have 8 Vikings versus 2. We have 3 tanks versus 2 as well. So Cure, he's up in Vikings, up in tanks, up in air control. The one thing that Percival has is a higher Marine count. And I believe Stim? Yeah, he has Stim as well. So Percival, he has Stim, he has more Marines. That can help make up for some of the deficits a little bit. If we can catch the army unsieged, for sure. Just got the man with gun. Cure gets spotted. Alright, so we're trying to be proactive. They scan each other. Cure, he's been healed up. Uh-oh. That's a lot of Vikings. Making his way into the main. There is nothing to defend in the main base. Production's exposed. Does focus on the add-ons. Waddles into the middle line. At the same time, Percival is stimming in. Oh my god. Oh god, the tank light. Stims into the tanks. Not like this. 11 SCV is going to be going down. Could always just lift and fight the Vikings head on. Drop into the main. He's finding some damage here. Getting 6 SCVs. But GG gets called. He gets cleaned up. It's just too much damage, and Cure takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Cure does take a lead in the series, and with that, Cure will take a lead. He'll be up 1-0. Once again, though, it was very intense in the early game. It was just Percival just being too aggressive. He was being overly aggressive, overly committed. He, in the end, did end up losing his lead early on, and we saw Cure just snowballing out of control with a massive tank push across the map. Was able to take over the main base, cancel the third base twice, killed all the SCVs, sniped tanks as they were being produced, and it was just a very chaotic early to mid game there, which Cure did dominate. And with that, GG. GG, well played. With that, we are now getting ready for our next game. We're going to be loading into lockdown. Let's go. And again, we'll see Percival can fight back and force the ace match. Let's go. And we shall see. So again, we're loading into lockdown. A bit of a larger map in the map pool, in some sense can be more defensive, but we expect hybrid aggression again. Like, TVT is known for being aggressive, known for being very in your face, as we just saw. We should see that trend continue here as well. Let's go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of lockdown, we have the blue Terran player, himself. We have the South Korean Terran down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran from South Korea, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Cure. So we are settling into game 2. Again, coming into this, welcome to Lockdown. Lockdown is a larger map. The map pool does have a low ground. I say low ground. There are like, what, 4 or 5 different planes of elevation. It's crazy. It's a lot of high ground here. We do have a high ground natural and a higher ground main base as well, so your 2 base setup here is very safe, is very secure. The third base here is going to be on the low ground, or you can go for another elevated position here for the linear third base instead. Now, this position in between the bases can be abused 100%. You can abuse this position. You can try to wedge yourself in between the bases depending on how our players do expand. To help alleviate some of this, you can actually knock down these cooling towers. There are cooling towers here just outside. You can knock them down and fully wall this area off. So you can fully wall off and try to build up on 3 bases, but again, we do expect to see some more intensity coming into the early to mid game. That's what we expect. For now, single gas opener at a Cure, single gas opener at a Percival as well. So both players going for economic starts. So far, so good. We're calming down after an intense game 1. Calming down. Security is checking with the proxy location. Does check the third before pulling back. Just making sure it's safe. Percival going for the CC on the high ground. We do see Cure going for the low ground CC instead. So a slight variation here. Cure is being a little bit greedier. Percival is being safer. This will benefit Cure. So Cure, he will have the slight economic edge over his opponent, as he can mine faster and there's nothing to punish him. Once again, Cure checking the proxy location before moving out. Checks the linear third. Doesn't check that triangular third though. I mean, it is a bit of an awkward position to try to proxy. Just playing it safe. You're just playing it safe. Likewise, from here, we're waiting to see the timing of the starports, the add-on setup as well, whether we go into early cyclones, early tanks, whether we build up into a second starport as well. We did see Cure embrace reactive Viking production last game, and in my mind, we should be seeing something similar here as well. Oh. Hello. Starport is a little bit faster here for Percival. Does go for the earlier tech lab on the factory, and do we go for the add-on swap here? Eyes on Percival. Meanwhile, Cure just opening up Marine into Hellion. Later Tech Lab. Cyclone first. We're still setting up. Okay, we're going to make the Tech Lab here on the starports. Cure lined up with the swap. Okay, there it is. So early add-on swap here by Cure with this earlier Raven or earlier Banshee play is going to be the faster Raven for Cure. So faster Raven production. The difference here, of course, is that Percival, he will have, I believe, a second Cyclone. Just the one. Yeah, it does get the Cyclone. No Cyclone at a Cure. Cure is cutting corners. He's cutting corners. He does have a weaker army here in favor of a stronger mid-game, ideally, with more Ravens, with earlier disables. So again, just see slight variations from both players. Again, I would say slightly in favor of Cure. Percival cutting corners, rushing into his third CC. Okay. Does rush into his third base. We do see an add-on swap here, so we're rushing into a third. Delayed tank production here by Percival. He will have a much weaker army, but rushing into earlier stim. Early stim, early bio, late tanks. And we'll see when and if Cure moves out. There's going to be a window in time here where Percival can be punished. For now, it does build up 2 Ravens. Then into the swap. Here comes a reactive Viking. Here comes Cure's move out. Now, I believe because this third base was so fast, it will not be cancelled. It will finish, and it can always lift and be pulled away. So Percival, he will get away with his third CC this time. We'll see what Cure can punish. As again, we mentioned before, the Cure, he's up in tanks. He's going to be down 1 Raven. True. Disable's going to be crucial. Does scan, does spot the 1 tank. Cure looking to move in. Here comes the Disable. Does get the tank. Actually going for the auto charge instead. Yeah, auto charge, they get thrown down. Tank will fall, maintains his position, just going for the kill. The boys are being pulled, and this is brutal damage here. Nice disables here from Percival, but the SCVs, yeah, so many SCVs going down. 20 SCV kills, critical damage. Ay, ay, ay. And Percival, he is punished for his greed. Again, he rushed into the third CC, but he gets punished for it. Again, Percival, he only had the 1 tank as he was cutting tank production. Tries to stem in, but GG gets called, and Cure, he will snowball out of control. He will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. Hyper aggression out of Cure, claiming the series 2-0. No chill whatsoever, just building up and pushing on 2 bases. Once again, as we mentioned, Percival, he did decide to cut corners, be greedy both in game 1 and in game 2 as well, rushing to these faster expansions, but he never got into it. He never built up into his 3-base economy. He never got there. GG. GG, well played. Percival just thinking a little bit too far ahead. A little bit too far ahead here, especially in Korean TVT. Like, no shot. Like, it's so difficult to get away with that. It's possible that that worked against ByuN. ByuN is typically traditionally a bit of a more passive player in the early game. He's more active in the mid game, but here, Cure, he was very aggressive, very in the face of Percival. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Cure and Clem. Oh boy, it's going to be a rematch. For those that weren't here this morning, Clem and Cure, they faced off in the Big Cup earlier this morning in the first tournament of the hotfix, and Cure took down Clem 3-0. He 3-0'd Clem. So Cure had a very strong showing versus Clem in their TVP earlier this morning. We'll see if in a couple of hours Clem was able to come up with a better response, a better reaction with a different style against Cure. Oh boy. We shall see. The rematch, Pappy, the rematch. So we're setting up for the finals. Beautiful. For now, we're going to be cutting to a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a next series. We'll have those finals ready for you. See you soon. See you soon after the break. Oh. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the grand finals, los grand finales here of the Kung Fu Cup 2026, week number 13. We are here. We've made it here to our final series, the final best of 5 of the broadcast. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Rainfall, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the French Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our final best of 5 TVP. Let's go. Let us go. Now, for some context of the series, we spoke about this earlier, but this is a rematch from this morning. This is the second tournament of the new hotfix going live here in the game in StarCraft. This is the second tournament. The first tournament was this morning, was Pegasus Cup, and these two faced off in the semifinals of that tournament, which was also best of 5, and Cure did defeat Clem 3-0. Did bring him down earlier this morning, so we'll see if Clem can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover and fight back against the terror that is Cure. Again, Cure, he has some killer TVP, has some of the best TVP in the world, up there alongside Clem actually when it comes to TVP. We'll see how Clem will react, respond, and if he finds the answer to the Cure. Aha, let's go. For now, double gas opener, a much more aggressive start. Welcome to Rainfall. I'm a little bit shocked this made it through the vetoes, but it is the best of 5, so vetoes are limited. Rainfall is a very small map in the map pool. Very, very small map. Aggression is heavily favored. All-ins are common on Rainfall. Not just common, all-ins are benefited. They're bolstered on Rainfall as well. So, especially in TVP, we're expecting aggression out of Cure. We're expecting aggression. We'll see if Clem can keep up. From the side of Clem, I'm curious to see if he's been chatting to Trigger when it comes to Protoss versus Terran. Trigger has had a really cool reaction, response, and kind of setup in PvT when it comes to making use of the new gateways and the speed gateways without Warp Gate, of course, and has really had some really impressive mid-game PvT, of course. We'll see how Clem looks in this matchup as well. I'll be honest, I've not seen Clem in this matchup in the latest patch. Have yet to experience it. I'm here for it. Let's go. For now, going to be opening up. Again, we have our racks in the factory. Cure does move out across the map. And so far, Clem, he was able to probe scout, he was able to confirm the double gas. With this, we should be seeing a safety battery in the natural and also a safety battery in the main. Yep, there it is, 2 batteries. Now, the reason why you want 2 batteries with the double gas opener, it means faster Hellion and Reaper production. It means that Cure can hit both locations at once. He can hit Reapers in the main and Hellions at the natural, so we have to be ready in both locations. That's why double battery is a very common response to double gas. So double battery, playing it safe, we're not cutting corners. There are some players like Hero and Classic that are willing to cut corners and skip one of the batteries and try to defend without it, but it can be detrimental, it can be, or it is difficult. It is difficult. That's Cure does pick in. Behind this, going for a very fast second racks. Oh, hello. Fast second racks. With this, we can go into a fast third racks and go for a 3-1-1 2-base all-in. Eyes are definitely on Cure here. We expect that aggression to begin with, and yep, there it is, 2-base all-in. So we're setting up for the 2-base all-in. Heavy bio play, early stim, late starport, late drop play. Instead, we're building up to a strong timing. We can pull the boys with this as well. This can lead into the boys being pulled. Hellion Patience to the natural. Reapers into the main. But again, the batteries are in position, and Clem is holding. Yeah, so far so good. Clem does hold on. Behind this, getting into 2-gate blink into the safety robo here, so relatively safe play. Warp gates are morphing in. Oh, Clem is going 2-gate, so 2-gate blink into a third. He's skipping his third gateway. This is quite greedy. This is quite greedy here, considering the aggression of Cure. Yeah, he's going for the third. He's going for the Nexus. Again, we'll see if he can get away with it. The Cyclone has arrived, going for the initial sentry, and the sentry does go down. Massive pickoff, takes on the sentry, nibbles away at the expansion. The issue here is Clem, he has yet to confirm, he's yet to scout. Yeah, he has not seen what's going on across the map. has not seen enough. Clem going for 2 more gates, getting up to 4. But again, that's after the expansion. And Stim is halfway done. Stim is halfway done. Again, Curie should be pulling the trigger with all these upgrades finishing up. It's going to hit hard. With the sentry falling, that means no hallucination scouts. That's kind of the importance of that sentry being sniped. No hallucinations. Thankfully, they do nibble at the army. Stim is almost complete. And we're waiting for that move out. Curie, he's about to have a second tank. Usually, I want to say this hits with 3 tanks. So, second tank will arrive. No starport in sight. Third tank is on the way. Observer does confirm everything in the main base, so Clem is aware. Yeah, Clem is fully aware. Behind this, going for charge. Building up safety immortals. Curie does move out. Does catch a Stalker already. Yeah, it does get a Stalker. Now halfway across the map. And here come the boys. We should be pulling them soon, as they're currently not mining. Where are we? There we go. The boys are being pulled. Again, it's just all or nothing. As I mentioned, this Scream 2-base all in pulled the boys when we saw the initial 3-1-1 setup. Clem knows this. Clem is getting ready. Clem has 1 immortal and charge will finish. Is this going to be enough though? He's got 1 battery in each base. We get spotted. No force fields. There's the energy overcharge. Okay. Tanks to siege. And we're walling off. Yeah, we're walling off here from the low ground. Tanks are moving in. Gateway's exposed. Does get the first gate. Oof. Tank shots on the immortals. And again, Clem is being cut off from his own third. He's being cut off. We do see Clem trying to catch reinforcements. Does get a Marauder. Nice pickups. Marauder's going to be going down, but the Rover's within range. Oh, God. Yeah, the Rover is exposed. Even getting depowered. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, it's a lay pylon. Lay pylon. Now we pull the trigger. He blinks in. Yeah, does go for the blink. One of the tanks was unsieged. And Clem, it looks like he does have enough here. It's close, but he does take down every single tank. Bunkers do survive. It's close, Pap. He still has the bunkers. 0 tanks left. Tries to stim in. But Curie, he needed more tanks behind this. Again, that 3rd tank was late to siege. Bunker goes down. And Clem is holding. Clem is holding. He's got his bunkers. He has his immortals. That was all that Curie had. He tries to stim in. He's got 1 more tank, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. Not like this. Not anymore. Oof. And with that, the final tank falls, and Curie, he has no longevity in this game. There's no 3rd TC. There's no starport. The all-in has failed. And Clem, he has a 3rd. He's got his 3rd fully operational. He's got mining. He's got saturation. Clem is moving out. That's all that Curie had. GG. GG gets called, and Clem takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Clem does take lead in the series. I was a little bit concerned here that Clem was being too greedy, but he was able to scout with the Observer. He was able to confirm. He was able to set up his batteries and start immortal production. If he had been caught with his pants down, if Clem had failed to scout and confirm, then most likely we would have not have seen any immortals. Instead, we would have been taking up a little bit further into a Bay, into a Forge, into +1, into Colossus. That's where Clem would be killed. But last, he did make some safety immortals, and despite getting his Robo depowered, he was still barely able to break out, pulling off the surround and getting on top of the tanks. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if he can keep this going here. We'll see what the plan is coming to map number 2. Let's go. What map are we even loading into? I'm not aware of the vetoes. I'm not aware of the map order. We'll find out together. Let's go. We'll find out together. as we're going to be loading into Washout. Okay, this time a larger map. Larger map in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. With this larger map, it does mean that most likely we will not be seeing a 2-base all-in here by Cure. Again, 2-base all-ins are common on Rainfall, they're common on Rorschach. Those are the two maps that we expect all-ins on. Here, we might see some more mid-game play. We could even see a 3-base all-in. That's not unheard of. Eyes are going to be on Cure. We still expect aggression from the Terran, though. That is what we expect. This round proving infinitely better than this morning for Clem, at least. True. Is looking better. Again, we're learning back. We're learning. Was able to get some proper sleep in between. True, that's, I'm sure, also a factor as well. Instead of staying up until 4 AM to play. You could argue that that's Clem at his best, though. You could... Staying up at the degen hours. True. But here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Washout, we have the South Green Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Liquid. Down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the French Protoss, also for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Leading the series 1-0. Let's go. Let's go. Again, it was able to survive and shut down the initial 2-base all-in by Cure. This time, we should be seeing something very different out of our Terran player. Still aggressive, but in a different way. Here's what we expect. Now we're going to be opening up. As we go for our initial racks expand. Likewise, at least in my mind, Clem, he in PvT is a lot more standard in his play, being the defender more than anything, reacting to his opponents, getting to his own 3-base setup into the mid-game. We haven't really been seeing too much of Clem going, say, proxy Stargate, or going for proxy pylons, or early aggression, 1-base all-ins. Not in PvT. Clem is willing to do that against Protoss, but as a Protoss, less so. Clem picks in. Double gas opener, once again. Clem picks in, does confirm the second gas. Clem knows. Clem knows he's aware. As a result, we should be seeing a faster factory, a delayed CC, and just like last game, Clem should be responding with 2 batteries, one in the main and one at the natural. Now, you could make the argument that because this map is larger, that you can get away with cutting corners and only having 1 battery. On Rainfall, it's a lot more unforgiving, so it makes more sense to just be hyper secure. Here, we'll see if Clem does end up cutting some corners. We'll see. As from here, Cure does pick out. Setting up for his eventual CC. Poking in. It's going to be up to Clem to keep up. There's that first battery on the low grounds. And we'll see if Clem gets one in the main base as well. Oh, as this time we're going for a mine drop. Okay. No Hellions this time. Going for wood mine production. Going for the mine drop. Clem does break out. And as you can see, Clem this time does not get the second battery. No second battery. As I mentioned, like, again, this is a larger map, so you can get away with cutting corners. Clem does move in. And does what the mine. Yeah, keen eyes at a Clem. Does bypass, delaying the CC. Oh my god. Doesn't get baited in, but still should be shut down. Yeah, it does come into the shade. Does trade with the Reaper. In the end, Curie does defend. Does hold. Curie does defend, he does hold on. The flip side is going to be our initial 2-gate opener. 2-gate blink, I would imagine, to a safety robo into a 3rd base. Same build that we saw last game at a Clem. Meanwhile, if you recall, I assumed that this was going to be a mine drop, but we only made the one widow mine here. Only one mine. Very fast tank here by Cure. Okay. I was curious if it was going to drop with the tank, but I was dropping with the Marines and the one widow mine. Let's go. This is a drop, but this is designed to get economic damage. Typically, a mine drop is just for scouting information. Here, you want to save the widow mine. You don't want to waste it on probes and make sure it connects with army, or zones away the army, I should say. Making our way towards the natural. Rotating towards the main. Stalkers are warping in. Clem is in position. Clem is ready. Yeah, Clem is ready. Curie backs off. Has to pull away. Being a little bit cheeky. Clem, he reacts. Okay. Clem is reacting well. Here comes Cure's main push. Now we see why we had early tank production. We're moving our tanks, and with Vikings, again, we're committed. Very, very committed here. So, looks like once again, this is not the same 2-base all-in, but this is a hyper-committed play here, rallying tanks and Vikings across the map. This is very committed. This is designed to kill. And the observer does confirm. Clemmy sees everything. He knows. Yeah, Clemmy sees the Vikings, sees the tanks, he's fully aware of what's going on. Behind this, we need tanks. Instantly immortal production. That's what I meant to say. We need mortals to defend. And Clemmy throws down 2 more gates on 2 bases. He delays his third. Very safe play here by Clem. He will delay the expand, setting up. And as time goes on, this should be better and better for Clem. As here comes the all-in. Clem doesn't get ahead of time. Oh. Poking away at the army. No pickles yet. Tanks are trying to move in. Observer gets caught. Does catch the observer. Tanks are leapfrogging forward. We see Clem trying to come in from behind. Trying to catch reinforcements. Gateway's exposed. Nice catch on the Marines and may even get a tank. Will. Yeah, will catch a tank as well. Massive pickoff. Tank goes down. There's still 3 tanks left. Again, Clem is just buying time. He has to be patient. He does need to be patient here. He has 2, soon to be 3 immortals. This time there's a backup pylon. The robot will stay powered. And we can see Kurt trying to transition. Behind this, 3rd CC. 3rd CC. Stim is on the way. Kurt trying to work on the next step. But can he survive with this army? Oh no, he goes in. Yeah, Clemmy commits. He commits in. He blinks forward. It gets 1, 2, all 3 tanks. Massive pickups. Cleans up all the tanks. We'll lose some stalkers though. It's going to be a messy fight, a messy trade. Yeah, it's getting messy. Clemmy pulls away and he will clean up. He'll clean up. In the end, he will lose, what, 5 stalkers? 8. 8 stalkers go down. Clem survives. Clem defends. Clem can now counterattack and Cure. Now he has to defend back at home. He has one tank. He has 1 tank in the natural. I believe 0 tanks in the main. Clem now expanding. And we'll see what Clem can get done. Pace a tank shot. Tank does push forward. There's no hack and vision, so Cure should be fine. Cure, he will defend. Clem, he can only contain. For now, expanding, building up his 3rd. It's still very tense between the 2 players, but Clem has potential with the Storm drop. Again, Storm is almost done. The drop is coming. At the same time, Curie does drop across the map as well, going for his own counterattack. Hoping to delay the 3rd. How quickly will Cure react? How fast? Storms are coming in. Cure, he does not react in time. Massive storms. Ooh, that's gonna be 4. It's gonna be 4 SCVs going down. Did I say 4? Getting up to 6. And alas, the army is low. Sorry, the workers are low, but they will survive. So 6 SCV kills adds some decent damage. At the same time, 4 probes go down across the map. Oof. So as much damage as that was here from Clem, Cure, he does reciprocate. Kills 4 probes. Cure pulls away. It's still very tense between our two players, still very back and forth. Cure, he's already got his academy on the way, rushing into Ghosts. And building his Vikings as well. So Cure is refining his composition. From the side of Clem, I'm still not entirely convinced. Oh, okay, so it looks like he wants to try to break his opponent before we have Ghosts out. There are Widow Mines. Mines are ready. Storm is coming in. First shot goes off. There's one more shot left. Storm the Marines. We do have a nice spread though. But we have more storms. Yeah, so many storms available here. Another storm is coming in. The Marines, they just melt. And Clem has done it. Clem, he breaks through the main army. Not enough here to defend. Again, Cure, he was teching up, but he needed more time. He needed more time. And Clem, he will pull through. He'll pull through. Getting some of the bunker. Another storm in the main army. Oof. Oh god, the storms, they just continue. They just keep coming. The storms, Pappy. Again, Clem, he's learned from this morning. He was able to sleep on it. He dreamed about this TVP. He's ready. And with that, he does push further through, forcing the army further back. The boys are being pulled. Desperation at a Cure. Desperate for damage. Losing every SCV. 24, 25 SCV kills. Aye. Oh. And in the end, Cure, technically he holds, he survives, but he has 35 workers to the 74 probes of Clem. An insane economy, plus the high yield gas, also the high yield bases as well. The hybrid bases. Let's go for gold mineral patches. Colossal production has begun. Building a more army. And Cure is barely standing. Barely standing. Circa Souls Clem was missing this morning was clever, hard, and fast. Well, I mean, I would say actually the opposite. In the sense that, again, Cure's been hyper aggressive. Game 1, he 2-base all in. Game 2, this was essentially a 2-base all in as well, right? Like, Cure was hyper aggressive. But both games, Clem, he weathered the storm, right? Clem, he shut it down. I'm referring to the earlier 2-base all in that was knocking down the front door of Clem, and Clem, he played it very safe. He played it very safe. Clem didn't even have a third. He's double expanding, by the way. But at the time defending, he was able to scout, confirm, played very safe, very defensive, survived it. So Cure's aggression is not working here. It's not working out for him. But you're correct in the sense of the counterattack, right? Like Clem, after surviving said aggression, like he's been very quick and fast to strike back, to punish. Getting on top of the reinforcing army, getting on top of the ghosts. Late reaction here by Cure. Late reaction. Jumping into the main. Does kill some probes, that is true, but again, Clem has probes to spare. GG. GG gets called. And with that, Clem takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Clem. He will claim a 2-0 lead in the series, and Clem is now 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. Let us go. And again, so far, the aggression from Cure has been failing. Time and time again. Clem has been very safe, very defensive, but also has been scouting, right? He was able to confirm the push, get eyes on it with the observer, is able to react in time, of course, by starting up his immortal production. So far, the scouting has been on point here for Clem. And Cure, what's the plan? You know, how do we adjust? We're loading into game number 3. It's going to be on At Attorney's Edge. Once again, this is a bit of a larger map of the map pool. Larger map. Depending on how we expand, this can lead into aggression, but we're expecting some more mid-game play here. And Cure, we're going to go back to the drawing board at this point. At this point, these double gas openers, these committed tank pushes have not been working. We got to calm down and rethink our approach here. Oh boy. Let's go. Oh, you're an animal, Aistan. You're an animal. Ah. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of at Attorney's Edge, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. Before, I mean, he's down 2-0, Pappy. He's down 2-0. Can he bounce back? Can he fight back? Can he make a series out of this? The pressure is on. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the French Protoss, representing Team Liquid. He lost 3-0 to his opponent this morning, but here he is. He has found the answer to the cure, Bap. He's found the poison, the virus, the disease. Oh no, it is Clem. It's the opposite of a cure. Oh no. But here we go. So far, he's up 2-0. He's up 2-0. And 1 game away from claiming the series. Ay, ay, ay. What's the opposite of the cure? The Protoss. Ah, true, true. Ay, ay, ay. As Clem, he is going to be building up. Once again, though, every game so far, Cure has been going double gas. It's been double gas openers, and once again, that trend continues. Double gas opener, 3 games in a row out of Cure. This leads into faster factory play, and has both games led into 2 base all-ins, different variations. Game 1, we saw, of course, the 3-1 setup without any starport. Game 2, it was fast tank production into fast Viking production into just rallying everything across the map. What haven't we seen? We haven't seen like racks into factory, into reactor to Hellion, into like proxy starport, into Hellion drop into the main, for example. We could see more committed mine drops. We haven't seen that either. Going to like a quad mine drop, especially with the Widow Mine buff. Like, yeah, you could argue that mine drop play could be more effective in TVP. What else are we thinking? 1-1-1 into Banshee base play, into Cloak Banshee, true. There's a lot of variety available here in TVP, but we'll see what Cure goes for this time. It's been a different build every game, different variation of aggression. Ooh, as the probe is killed. SCV does survive. We're calming down. Oh no. Ah. And hey, it was Clem who was embracing the storm drops earlier. It was the storm drops. For now though. For now we're going to be opening up, poking in across the map. Clem, he did confirm the double gas opener, so we should be seeing a couple of batteries. There we go, battery on the low ground here at the natural. We'll zone the army away, and we are going to be opening up with a singular mine so far. Last game was also just the 1 mine. And this time Clem, he's going to play a little bit safer, 2nd battery. Remember last game he skipped the 2nd battery, this time we're embracing it. So Clem playing a little bit scared. I don't blame him considering he's leading the series. Just wants to be safe. Reapers they poke in. Catching out 1, catching out 2. Ooh. Yeah, 1 probe kill so far. Sentry's buying time. So far buying time. Starting back the Reapers. Hallucination gets a full scout, confirms the 1-1-1. And the Widow Mines as well. Confirms 2 Widow Mines at least. True. He's where the mine in the main, and now we're the mine at the natural. We do have to see a 3rd mine on the way. So, hey, we spoke about how this is one of the possibilities. It's a much more committed mine drop out of Cure. Much more committed, extra mines. Clem does poke out. We'll see if Clem can traverse the minefield. Uh-oh. Oh, the bait. The hallucination, he baits out 1, baits out 1, baits out 2, but he was a little bit wasteful. There we go, he can bait out the 3rd mine as well. Clem chasing down the 1st Widow Mine. But again, nice baits out of Clem. He wants the... It's waddling away. Waddle away, Pappy. Oh no. Oof. Doesn't quite get away. Anyway, we have 2 more Widow Mines here towards the main base, but again, it's only 2 mines. Should have been 3. Very proactive play here by Clem. And behind this, going 2-gate blink. 2-gate blink into the Robo. Stalker's getting in position. Probe as well. Q does boost in. Army somewhat ready. Oh, Wouldn't Mind shot will go off. Catching at one. Oh. Oh, only one probe. Nice defense out of Clem. Clean. He defends well. Behind this, we're going for a 3-1-1 setup. This is pretty standard so far by Cure. Going Mind Drop into a 3-1-1 into add-on swap into tank production and stim. For the first time this series, a standard build out of Cure. Standard build. Oh, as Cure moves down, Clem, he can backstab. He has Blink. He does have Blink. Diving into the main. He can harass. He can punish the production. Yeah, Rax is delayed. Going for the add-ons as well. Cure completely out of position. And we're doing more damage. Yeah, we're dealing more damage. Getting into the main base as well. We have 2 Marines to defend. They're Vanilla Marines as well. The Vanilla. No stim, no upgrades, no combat shield. That's going to be 7 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal damage. Back at home, Mind Drop moves in. Army does get across the map. 2 probe kills so far. And where's that recall? Clem's in trouble. There's that recall back home. Tank within range of the pylon. Depowers the robo as well. Massive pickoff. On the one hand, Clem did a lot of damage across the map, but can Clem survive? Can he hold? Oof. I mean, he will have no immortal production. Bay's on the way. That won't help. Tank's already sieged. Clem needs more warp ins. Yeah, he needs more. He needs something to tank here. He's going for the dive. He's going for the dive. He gets one. He will get both tanks, but will he survive the Marines? Oh my god, so many shots going off. Does barely get the 3rd tank. Stalkers, they do blink away, but they're so low. They're so low. Trying to buy more time. We need more warp ins. Oh. Oh my god. Barely catching a Marauder. The tank shot. Oh my god. Tank blow goes off. Gets on the Stalker. Down to 5. Getting a very low Stalker counts. Being forced further back. And this might just be too much. Yeah, Cure at this point has done it. Cure, he's getting us over the expansion. We're going to have a series. Zealots, I mean, they hit a tank. True. Zealots are moving in. Gets us over the tank. And Clem holds. No shot. Clem is holding. The MVP charge. That's just in time to defend. With that, Clem, he will survive. Clem losing minimal probes. Remember, he's on 3 Nexi. Snipes the Raven. And Clem, he defends with a better economy. He saved the natural base just barely. Oh my god. Just barely saved it. And back at home, Cure, what do we have to work with? Stim is on the way. Combat Shield's on the way. Working towards a 3rd CC. But again, a very delayed expansion here by Cure. Clem, he survived. And this is looking rough here for Cure. It's looking rough. Now, he does have, you know, some upgrades coming his way, of course. Stim, +1, combat shields that will kick in to build up into a 3rd base. Unfortunately, the 3rd base is just very late. It's very delayed here for Cure, and Clem should be working and thinking about a 4th expansion at this point. As Clem is fully saturated, Colossus are on the way. Yep, there's that 4th expansion. We're setting up. The pressure is still very much on Cure. Pressure is on. Yeah, Prism gets into the main base, going for the mass warp in. Clem is, Cure is out of position. Clem moving in towards the 3rd at the same time. And Cure is being torn apart. He's being torn apart. He just cannot keep up. Again, Cure, he was so committed to the push earlier. He had to end the game then and there. After failing to do so, Clem is just snowballing out of control. It's getting out of hand. More into the main. 15 SCV kills. Cripples the economy. And Clem is just chilling. He doesn't have to commit. He's getting a 4th. He's getting a 4th base. Wouldn't Mind, I catch at the Prism. Stalkers, they stick around. Everything else goes back home. Oh. As now it's on Clem to get ready for the counterattack. Building on more Colossus, more Zealots, +1 is on the way, second Forge for double upgrades. Clem is poking in. And time is on his side. We do see a second starport on the way for mass Viking production. Curie needs time to recover, but Clem should not give him that time. I mean, I say that he is getting a 5th expansion and now getting a 2nd robo and switching into disruptors. This all tells us that Clem, he's just getting further ahead and teching up. So it looks like Clem won't try to end the game anytime soon. But Clem is looking quite comfortable. Looking very comfortable. Is Clem going to give Cure too much time? We'll see. I mean, Cure, he's massing up a lot of Vikings. Has a very heavy Marauder composition as well. I feel like disruptors are going to be very necessary here for Clem. Clem, he went up to 4 Colossus. Jesus, that's a lot of Colossi. Up against 7 Vikings. Sorry, 9, soon to be 11. Soon to be 11 Vikings. Clem does move in. Just posturing. Waiting for his disruptors, and Clem will soon max. Likewise, I do appreciate he's throwing down pylons all over the place. Just spotter pylons scattered throughout the entire map. Making sure he spots any kind of drop. Clem is moving in. Still waiting for more disruptors. Still waiting, Pappy. As it builds up to 3 disruptors so far. Mine shots popping off. Disruptors are going to be moving in. Show some mines. Show some overs even. Ooh. Now poking in towards the mineral line. At the same time, we do have a harassing force on the left-hand side. Nova mainly zoning. Zealots are moving in. They will try to catch reinforcements. So far, Crew's defending well. Does get 1, 2, does get 3 Colossus. You get Vikings, they punish the Colossus. Better fight here for Cure. We did mention that Clem was giving Cure a lot of freedom, a lot of time. And Cure is fighting well. Oh. But bleeding out Ghosts. Yeah, Ghosts are going down. These elves are finding more damage. They gain more value. Clem rotates. Cure should not expand. As Cure tries to move in. They'll say continue. They just keep warping in, Bappy. Yeah, the warpings, they continue. We do have fast warpings, collapsing on the main army. Still no major Nova shots. Not yet. Oof. The mines are punishing. Jeez, that was close. As Cure had a late reaction, but the Nova was a little bit premature. And Clem is literally taking every base on the map here. The gold expansion, northern bases, even the base in the face of Cure. The disrespect. Oh my god. Clem should not maintain. Oh my god. Yeah, Nova connects. Nova finally connects. Novas are popping off. Oof. Catching up more Marauders. Clem setting up for a massive Zealot run by, and over time, Curie's just running out of steam. Just running out of units. Cure is burning through his bank. Zealots take it on top of Marauders. They trade well. I would say distract. Oh. So again, just grazing the army. Picking up a couple of Marines, Marauders, Vikings. Okay, this Nexus will go down. A little bit too ambitious there. But it's fine. Like, again, Clem is still out trading. Still bullying Cure. Bullying him badly. Planetary did finish, but here come the Zealot Warpins. As Clem actually hasn't really built up too much of a bank here. What is the saturation looking like? Yeah, we do, there we go. He does transfer. Transferring over. Still warping in more units. Again, Clem should break the planetary. Gee, that secure is heavily oversaturated. And it blinks in. Does blink in. Nova's going to be going up. Ooh, massive connections. Planetary goes down. As I mentioned, Cure should never be able to maintain a fourth base, not in this kind of position. No shot. Fourth base cannot get up. Chasing down the medevacs. More Zealots harass. Oof. Yeah, and from here, Cure, he just cannot keep up here. The suppliers that they're lying to you. Clem has all this bank, has all these resources, so he can just rebuild, he can just keep remaxing, keep going. Cure cannot. Losing another ghost. When he rotates, he has 6 disruptors. Now it's back in the Colossus. How many Vikings? 1. One. There's 1 Viking this time. Some awkward movement here by Clem. He does have to be careful. But GG. There it is. GG gets called as Curie runs out of steam, and Clem will claim the series 3-0 and become this week's Kung Fu Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a rematch from this morning. Cure, he may have beaten Clem in the morning, but here in the evening, after getting some sleep, after dreaming about this series, Clem, he does fight back. He does 3-0 Cure. GG, well played. Again, Cure, he was hyper aggressive this entire series. Game 1 and Game 2 went for 2 base all-ins. Game 3 here, he was also very committed on 2 bases. If you remember, he had a very late third TC going for a very early tank push. We did see that it was a little bit more chaotic, and honestly, I could see a world where Cure could have looked to tie up the series and at least won this game. If you remember, it was very, very dicey when Clem went across the map. He blinked into the main base. He was dealing damage, delaying the production, the economy. He was doing a lot. At the same time, Cure, he was just sending it across the map. Just sending it across the map. He sieged up within range of the Robo, with range of the Pylon, within range of the Nexus. I thought Clem was dead, but no, Clem, he was very, very patient. He bought enough time for charge to complete. And with charge finishing, he was barely able to collapse in and clean up the tanks and save the natural base. It was like on 10% HP. Like, that Nexus was so low, but Clem saved it. Clem, he saved in the end. He shut down the aggression, and then Clem just snowballed out of control, gaining map control, taking more bases, and Cure just was outscaled. It was just outscaled. GG, well played. Congratulations to Clem for the 3-0. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. And with that, Clem will be our champion. He's going to be our champion for this week's Kung Fu Cup. Again, this was the second tournament of the hotfix patch. Still plenty more tournaments to come. Home Story Cup is over the weekend, and Crank Gathers is around the corner as well. But definitely, I would say the hotfix patch is a step in the right direction. It's been very doom and gloom. It's been very doomer amongst the community when it comes to the state of StarCraft and how the patches have been implemented. But we were all, we were all, at least people not even in the know, but like myself, like Crank and others, like we were very confident that a hotfix patch was going to come. I assumed that it was just going to be adjusting numbers, which did happen, but what caught me off guard, and we'll discuss it more tomorrow, I suppose, during the podcast, but what caught me off guard was the sentry change. Like that was not just like a hotfix, like that was a bigger change done, the force field change, if you recall, which is also a positive sign, the fact that they're willing to explore a little bit further than just adjusting numbers in these hotfixes. This is basically like its own patch essentially. So yeah, and we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping for at least one more hotfix change. I do think that there's still room for improvement when it comes to certain matchups and when it comes to certain dynamics. If we do get one, most likely post Home Story Cup. Right, Home Story Cup is over the weekend. There's going to be a lot of testing, a lot of games played on Home Story Cup. So post Home Story Cup coming into next week, we'll see if we do get another hotfix. But otherwise, GG well played. With that, congratulations to Clem. When it comes to our broadcast schedule, again, we used to cast KungFu Cup live a little more often. Nowadays, this is our first time casting it live in a long time. I don't think this trend will continue. I don't know if you noticed, but our viewership is very, very low casting this live. We get like 3-4 times the viewership casting this via replays, funnily enough. So because of that, we most likely will just be covering KungFu Cup via replays moving forward, due to the fact that there's just less competition. Like for this event, there's Wardy, Rotterdam, and Steadfast, and we're like the smallest of the community casters. So because of that, yeah, there's just a lot less eyes on us. It's just less worth it. So yeah, funnily enough, like a replay cast of this just gets more attention and more viewership. So we'll probably be doing that moving forward. Just replay coverage of KungFu Cup. We'll go back to it. Replays of KFC. Think that'll be the plan. For What Is Be Mondays, we'll still cast that live. We still do have very competitive viewership there, at least, so we'll continue with that. But for KungFu Cup, just because there are so many other English casters, we'll most likely just cover that via replays instead. We appreciate it. Those that tuned in, we appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, from there we have wrapped up our Wednesday cast, and tomorrow we're going to be live with SEL. We have StarCraft Evolution on Thursday and Sunday. That's going to be tomorrow's cast, and we have the Pond cast on Friday. And do you see something different on Saturday? Crank Gathers. We have the Crank Gathers event on Saturday. That is a new event that Crank is organizing over on Chijik. We could cast it live on Chijik, but we're opting to cast it via replays on our channel here on Twitch and YouTube instead. But that's going to be a very fun StarCraft Evolution event as well. So SC Evo is around the corner, bearing in mind that Home Story Cup is this weekend, but we will not be casting it. We've been Bovo, he reached out, they reached out if we wanted to be the B stream, but we are turning it down just because nowadays it is harder for us to cover European events. It's very, very late, and we would like to sleep and get some rest. So we didn't cast Maestros live, we won't cast Homestead Cup live, we'll just cast via replays. We'll do a replay cast for that instead. But it's all good. Probably replay casts next week throughout the course of the week to cover some of the playoffs of Home Story Cup. Otherwise, enjoy it. Enjoy Home Story Cup. I believe Steadfast is going to be covering it alongside the main stream as well. So they got you covered there over at Home Story Cup in Germany. It's going to be amazing, going to be beautiful on the new patch and on the new hotfix as well. So do check it out. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. That's getting old. Yes and no. I mean, I said this before, but I mean, I say sleep is nice. We have pet bunnies, and for those that are unaware, like bunnies, they usually sleep in the morning and they're awake at night. So basically, right after this, I spend time with the bunnies. We typically go to bed like at around like 4 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. Spend time with the bunnies, which would be the time that European events would be happening. So I have other responsibilities, Pappy. True. Other responsibilities. But yeah, GG well played. Otherwise, thanks for watching the support. We do appreciate it, and we're going to be wrapping up here for the evening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning in around 9 hours. 9 hours time. We'll be live with SEL with StarCraft Evolution League. Hope the one is getting along better. Yes. It's been a rough year. It's when it comes to vet visits, when it comes to some health complications with the bunnies, but they're doing well. They're recovering. Bunny cam soon. TM bunny cam. But with that, we're going to be wrapping up. Going to be wrapping up here for the evening, and we'll see you guys next time for SEL or the podcast or Crank Gathers. See you next time. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon or via socials. So you can follow us on YouTube for the VODs or Patreon to support our tournaments. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Unfortunately, good quality cast. Thanks for covering it live this time. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you. This is a new patch where Protoss is supposedly not a race. I feel like people that are saying that probably don't play much StarCraft. But this is the new hotfix patch. Yes, yes. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be wrapping up here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, ciao, papi ciao, hasta luego. Thanks for watching. See you next time.